In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another spontaneous. Let me stop this fella from talking. Hold on a second. As I was saying, thank you once again for joining me. This is of course, Google Hangout spontaneous broadcast of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on what some may still call the World Wide Web. Wherever you may find me on social media, I am known as the mighty Angelsnupnup7. I am your soul brother number one, and your friend, Angelsnupnup7. Taalik, Ibn'rad. Okay. I don't want to keep us long because, well, you don't have to stay long. Matter of fact, you might not be here at all. This is spontaneous. So I'm by myself. And so I'm going to talk to myself. Woo. Yeah, I'm going to talk to myself. Nobody's around. Plus, I only have 10 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure this is the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm pretty sure many of my subscribers, the 10 subscribers, how you doing, Truth Seeker? Peace, peace. Thank you. I have 9 more subscribers out there. I'm very sure that, oh, I got another one. I got 8 more. I got 8 more subscribers. How you doing, George Trusty? And yeah, woo, it's terrible. It's terrible when you don't have people that willing to listen to what you have to say. It's terrible having only 10 subscribers. It's very terrible. But you want to know something? According to religious text, according to the Bible, only 144,000 would be saved. So you have billions of people on this planet, but clearly only just a few really going to qualify to enter the kingdom of heaven according to religious text. So I should be sort of happy that I'm not surrounded by these thousands, because that might be a sign we ain't gonna make it. Also, I was listening to our brother, Minister Eric Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, and he was talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Elijah Muhammad said some of his best followers, you would see them, there would be so little of his believers left that they would barely fill a Volkswagen, a small car, something like that. So I am in good company with myself and 10 subscribers. I'm happy. Shout out to all my 10 subscribers. I appreciate us, and we are the best. Like I said before, no matter where you would place us, there's no wisdom, there's no page, there's no individual, there's no person that can handle us. Thank you, George. That's how it's supposed to be. We don't have to agree on everything. That's not the point. The point is, do you want liberation? Do you view me as your brother? Do you want the same thing as I do? Do you want a better future for your children and your children's children, way long after we're gone? Don't you want to control your own destiny? That's the key. We don't have to like each other to work on the same job. There are people right now who don't like each other. They work the same job in order to get a job done. You don't want to work with me because you don't like me on the same job. Chances are that's because you don't really want what you claim you want anyway, because whether you like it or not, we can accomplish nothing without all of us. This group might have a little success. This little individual might have a little success. But as you can see very clearly, the masses are not affected. And that's what I want to change, the condition of the masses. As individuals, as your little group, your little tribe or whatever, that's easy to do. But we want to change the condition of a so-called people, which the first step needs to be making them see and view themselves as a people. Once you get that accomplished, you will see that the road begins to get more smoother and easier. Now, again, I don't want to keep us long. I don't want to keep me long because actually I didn't feel like talking, but because my Thanksgiving holiday, for reasons out beyond my control, has gotten shortened, then I decided I want to come out here and spend a little time with my 10 subscribers. And I love it. I love it. As long as I have one subscriber, I am going to talk. Matter of fact, if I had 0 subscribers, I'm going to talk. Because I like this. I love doing this. I love to speak before us as a people. And I know that I bring something that is worth something to the table. But we will never know because they don't want to try it. Want to continue to do the same thing and think the same kind of way we have been thinking for the last going on not 500 years, but at least since the time of Marcus Garvey. I want to touch very briefly on 5 topics. Well, actually it's 6 because I forgot one real quick. So before I forget it, I'm going to start off with it. I have 5 topics I want to talk about real quick. 6 topics, I'm sorry. I want to start this way. Let me tell you what the topics involve. I want to talk about my first debate, because there are those who say that there's no way I could debate somebody like Minister Farrakhan or Al Sharpton or Tariq Nasheed or Umar Johnson and all that kind of thing. I wonder about that. There's somebody that told me the reason why I only have 10 subscribers is because I don't look rich. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the same person who's, well, not the same, this is a different person, another person who wants to tell me about how smart Caucasian people are and why they rule the world. Now, this same person is going to tell me about raise one of the solutions to our dilemma in this nation. And they tell us that the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, the people that I call soul, we could make life much easier if we got slaves. That's the funniest thing I ever, oh, wow. We won't talk about that. But I want to touch really on my main topic, and that is, I don't like this word mulatto. And I want to explain why. And you should not like the word mulatto. So let me let me begin by saying this. I met a person and we had a conversation, and I guess this person wanted to help me out, give me some good advice. And they began to talk, and it's cool. And I didn't really, I'm going to admit, I act just like many of these persons out here. When I speak and offer you advice and suggestion, I began to do the same thing with this person, because this person had less experience than me. We were doing the same thing, but I have more experience. So I should know more. I'm more qualified. How can this person that has less experience than me or no experience tell me anything? Uh-oh, see, I'm in trouble with myself, because I am guilty of the same thing that many of us out here in YouTube land, social media. When I bring us suggestion, when I bring us advice, you don't want to hear, who are you? What's your experience? What qualifies you to tell me anything? And I admit, when I first heard what this person had to say, I've done the same exact thing. But I'm a little different than you guys. You know what makes me different? What makes me different is I would sit back and trip off what I just done. Because as this person was trying to give me good advice, I'm rejecting the good advice because I'm arrogant. How can you tell me anything? I have more experience than you do. Can't tell me nothing. But after I thought about it, the difference between you and me is that after I stopped tripping on the fact that I'm arrogant and a know-it-all, then I decided, you know, let me try what this man is trying to tell me. In fact, I was speaking with a Caucasian gentleman, and we was going back and forth. Maybe I was tripping off the fact he's a Caucasian. Maybe I was saying subconsciously, this cat can't tell me now, this pink fella. Whatever. I decided, let me try this. And you want to know something? It worked. So guess what? This is the beautiful thing. Look, okay, it worked. So guess what? I just improved myself by taking the advice of somebody I thought was inferior to me. See? So all these different methods of strategy and alternative thinking and ways of looking at things. The reason why you suffer, so-called Negro, black man, African Americans, the Kemetic or Hebrew Israelite, whatever you want to call yourself, the reason why you suffer, the reason why you can't progress and move forward, because you will know it all, nobody can't tell you nothing. So you're not like me. Because I was thinking the same way that you do, but I decided, let me try this. And when I tried it, it worked. Matter of fact, it worked very, very great. I give this man his props. If I ever see him again, I would shake his hand. I'll tell, hey man, I took your advice. Wow. Hey, this is it. I use his method every day. It was good advice. The man wasn't trying to hurt me. He wasn't trying to deceive me. He was just trying to give me good advice. So that's all that is coming from this rostrum. Trying to give you good advice. Trying to bring you a logical suggestion. Not trying to hurt your feelings. Not trying to demean you. Not trying to make mockery of you. Trying to give you what we feel is good advice. The problem is you don't want to try it. You don't want to deal with it. So you don't improve. See, I improved myself by taking the advice when it was offered to me. You never improve. You remain stagnant. Matter of fact, really you're going backwards. So that is your fault because you have become arrogant. You a know-it-all. But if you know it all and you got it going on like that, why are you still sitting? 10 years passed, 15 years passed, 30 years passed, 100 years. You're stagnant, still talking about the same people. Oh, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Sojourner Truth, keep talking about the same people. You never add nothing new because you ain't doing a damn thing. You can't add yourself to the equation. Huey Newton, the Black Panthers. When are you going to add yourself to the equation? You can't. You're stagnant in where they left you. You're stagnant where Harriet Tubman left you. Stagnant where Marcus Garvey left you. And Elijah Muhammad. And Malcolm. And Frederick Douglass. And the list goes on and on. You are, matter of fact, you have gone backwards. You won't take good advice. You won't take good suggestion. The things that our brothers and sisters in the past, they had to deal with new ways of looking at things. Otherwise, they couldn't move forward. Somebody had to get the ball rolling forward. You have to gamble. You have to try different things. If this key don't work, then you got to try another key. Y'all keep using the same key. Elijah Muhammad, and you just keep messing with the key. Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanism, and you keep messing with the same keys over and over, and the lock don't move, but you steady there. I feel sorry for you, really. So as an individual, I can move forward and I can progress and be better. But unfortunately, as a people, and many of you influence certain people, you stay backwards and you take other people backwards with you. Wow. Really, that's sad. But like a brother always tell me, it is what it is. So now, I gave you that story to show you that I am also guilty. I have this mentality too. You can't, certain things you can't tell me. But I do listen. And I am willing to try. I was a Christian. I was a Muslim. I know about the Hebrews and the Kemites. I know about all those different things. I'm willing to try. And try sincerely. When I tried this man's suggestion, I did it sincerely. I wasn't trying to do something to prove him wrong. I want to see if this worked. And it worked. See, many of these folks out here, they don't want to try anything from this rostrum because, first of all, they don't want to give me no credit. That crazy guy, he don't know what he's talking about. You don't want to give me any credit. This man that gave me this advice, I have no problem. Matter of fact, I don't even know his name. But I have no problem with giving him the credit, not on me. And when I pass this good advice to other people, I'm going to tell them, it ain't coming from me. I met this fella. He told me to do this. And I tried it, it worked, and I'm passing this on to you. It's a wonderful thing when you're open, when your mind is open and you're not rigid in thinking. So many wonderful opportunities can open up to you. Oh, wow. So you will have these persons who will also say that with what I have, I would not stand a chance in a debate, conversation, or whatever with the heavyweights, such as Brother Minister Farrakhan or Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, maybe even Tommy Sotomayor, because what I present from this rostrum is clearly, it's weak, right? Okay. Now, and you know, Tariq Nasheed is popular. Dr. Umar Johnson is popular. Minister Farrakhan is popular. Sarnetta TV is popular. Well, let me tell you something. Popular don't make you right. I don't care how popular you are. You have all these men who are now being accused of sexual harassment. They were popular. They held positions of influence and power. What does it get them? When they are incompetent or they abuse their popularity. So it means nothing. I give you a very short example. The first time I ever had a debate, I was running for class president. I think I was in the 9th grade, I think. 9th grade, I believe. And the boys in the class, they nominated me. See, they knew I was a nerd and I was this smart fellow, whatever. And the boys in my class figured I was the right candidate. Just the fact that I was this nerd, smart type of guy. Then the girls nominated the most popular girl. Matter of fact, she was popular in our class, period, male or female. And so I was put up against the popular girl, the most popular person in the class, against the nerd. I'm a nerd, a nobody, who cares? Now, the girls also had an advantage because their strategy, not only was the girl that I was going up against, not only was she popular, but they was also going to use the strategy that there were more girls in our class than it was boys. So there was no doubt in nobody's mind that this girl, matter of fact, I almost wanted to vote for the girl myself. Her name was Patricia. Patricia, she was tall for her age, and Patricia was fine. I should have just gave her the election just to get close to the. Patricia was cute to me. I like Patricia. And you know, even after the election, myself and Patricia, you know, we had a decent, you know, relationship. You know, we was friends. We was very cool. So how could a nerd? How could it be possible, or would it be possible that this nerd would be able to beat somebody that's popular like that? So the day of the election, now of course we're going to have a debate, and she was popular, but she could not out debate me. That was clear. She wasn't going to do that. I stood on a platform and I told my classmates, this is what I was going to do, and this is what I'm going to get for you. I sounded like a politician. Matter of fact, that's what I did. I studied how they debate and how they argue on TV, the politicians. And I basically just was copying the type of rhetoric, the type of talk that your candidates running for these offices was talking and bringing it to my classmates. So, but she's still popular, and Patricia still has the girls on her side. I think it was 4 more girls than boys. And I believe that I had all the boys vote. The only way I could win, I had to pull some girls. There's no way I could win. So the day of the election came, and the votes start getting counted. And the teacher said, well, we got a winner. And Patricia already knew she had it in the bag. I'm popular. I got all the girls' votes. It's a done deal. Our new president was yours truly. Upset. It was shocking. I was able to pull some of the girl votes. Not because I was handsome. Well, you know, maybe that had something to do with it. Yeah, I pulled some of the girls' votes because the girls was actually listening to what I wanted to bring to our, to our class. And Patricia was like, how is this? Everybody wanted to know what girls, all this is in secret. Nobody knows who voted for who. And we wanted to find out what girls voted for this guy. I later found out who the girls was. But this goes to show you, it's true. Umar Johnson is popular. It's true. Minister Farrakhan is very articulate, brilliant oratory skills, wonderful speaker. Tariq Nasheed and all the popular folks. And that's good for your fans. That's good for your fans. But if you place me, I'm telling you, I know this as a fact. You could go to the bank on this. If we had an election for the president of Soul America, Black America, and you put me up against all these people that I just mentioned, they are going to lose. They are going to lose because my platform actually includes all the people of soul, all the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin. I'm not interested in what you do in the bedroom. I don't care if you drink and you smoke or you eat pork. I don't care nothing about all that. I'm only concerned with your liberation and what is in the best interest of you. That's not my concern. Minister Farrakhan standing on a religious base, well, if you're homosexual, I can't support that. God is against homosexuality and you got to change it. You don't have to change nothing for me. I just want you to be happy and free. So you are looking at 40 to 70 million dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America in this country. They don't care nothing about your popularity in your little group, your little clique. They are going to listen and be drawn toward the ones who best fit their interests. I do that. And that's why all these guys will lose, because the platforms that they stand on is rigid, and it can only attract and it can only draw a certain amount of persons. But when you're talking about the masses of the people, that's a whole different story. And I know for a fact, I don't care how articulate these people are. I don't care how charismatic their orator, and I'm not a joke myself now. I don't care about all that. the platforms that they stand on is weak, and it does not represent what is in the best interest of the masses or the people. That's why they are not drawn. You can get a few thousands listening to you, but we have 40 to 70 million people in this country. And that's another reason why I keep talking, because you never know when that 40 to 70 million, for some reason, one day, they start listening to you. Never know. So I'm going to talk and let them know I am here. I represent you. I represent us. I want your liberation from an oppressor once and for all. I'm not concerned whether you smoke crack. I'm not concerned whether you are a single mother. I'm not concerned with those things. Let's get concerned with being liberated first. All these other issues, you can iron out after you get free, truly free. But as long as you are in a condition of slavery, all that stuff don't make no difference anyway. So what? Because you're living, as they say in religious texts, you're living in Babylon. You're living in this modern Babylon. Babylon is become a habitation of devils, a place of every foul bird, wickedness. So what? Makes no difference. Oh, there goes my sunshine. Hey, sunshine. That's my sister, soul sister, sunshine. 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 Woo! I love my people. Love y'all. You are the best. You are the smartest. Because if you were not, even those who disagree, there's something here that's holding your attention. I wonder what that is. I'm bringing to you common sense. I'm bringing you logic and reason. So I'm telling you, I know that if I was placed up against these brothers, and they are brilliant, they just don't have that key, the real key that opens up this door that you need. And I'm not saying that I don't have the total key. I don't have the total key myself, but it's not up to me. It's about us. It's not about a particular organization or individual. We hold the key. Don't put all that pressure and burden on me. You got the key. No, we have the key. Peace and respect to you too, Sister Sunshine. Very difficult to talk and look at the chat board too, so excuse me. Topic number 3, real quick. Somebody told me the reason why you only have 10 subscribers because you don't look rich. That's your Negro problem. Looking rich. You want to floss. You materialistic. You caught up in all this material crap. You ain't learned nothing, even from your religious text. Because in the religious text, you would talk about the story of Jesus, where Jesus was brought upon, I think he was taken upon on top of this mountain with the devil. And the devil told to Jesus, if you come and be with me, look at all this I can give you. Material crap. And then Jesus said, I'm not interested. That's how they got you. That's how they have you stuck in this trap. With all this African stuff, you're always talking about the gold and the diamonds. That's what you talk about. The resources of Africa. You don't talk about how really you love the people of Africa. You keep talking about the resources, the uranium, the gold, these things, material. So after you rape Africa, there is no more resources in Europe, North America, Africa, Asia. Then what y'all suckers gonna do? You done rape the planet. Then what you gonna do? I know, come on. Now, what you gonna do? Because you don't give a damn about the people. I'm not supposed to floss in front of you. Because money means is success to you. It don't. I'm not impressed by your goal. I want to know about your character. That's what Dr. King taught us. Somebody with good character, honest. In fact, that was one of the criteria if you were chosen as a prophet of the God in your religious teaching. That prophet had to have some type of good character, some type of what y'all call some type of good morality. That comes first. Yeah, gold is pretty, diamonds is pretty, all this kind of stuff. Material things is nice. But that should not be, you should not be obsessed with that. You should never put that which is non-living over the living. Because a diamond ring can't kiss me. A car can't kiss me. A big house can't hold me. You in a house and there's nobody that can love you. The house can't love you. You get shot, go to the hospital, your big house not going to give a damn about you. It can't care nothing about you. All your gold, your silver, whatever these material things, you want to look rich. You want to look rich to do what? To impress who? The races. Because that's how they made success. The big houses and the cars, greed. And your Bible, and I believe the Quran also talks about greed. That's greed. You one person in a 700-room house. What sense do that make? That's extreme greed. So you can impress the little fellas. I don't want to impress nobody. Matter of fact, I want to give money away. And I will do that next month. Not a lot of money, but I'll give it away. Because it don't really mean that much to me. Maybe I can help somebody with some school books, a traffic ticket you got, just take you out to dinner. Because I'm your friend, I'm your brother. I don't care nothing about that. You are more important to me than trying to floss. Because I could take the $1,000 and buy me some pretty clothes. Make me look rich. I can rent a Mercedes Benz. That's not what it's about. You caught up, like Brother King Noble said, you caught up in the matrix. You caught up in racism. That's your problem. You're materialistic. And that's one of the reasons why you can't get free. Because in order to get free, in order to become liberated, you don't want to lose all this material stuff that the white man doesn't allow you to have. I don't care nothing about this stuff. Don't mean nothing to me. I love my mother, my sisters, my brother, my cousins. That's who. You, that's what's important to me. I don't care about this material stuff. Never have. I grew up poor on a plantation sharecropper farm. I was happy with the goats, with the cow, with the chickens, and the deer that used to run through the yard, and the birds and the bees. I love that. I was happy. Ain't never been that happy since I was a child and was poor and broken down and out. Belly was full. That's all I cared about. Didn't have to worry about the rain. Had clothes, had shelter. Didn't need all this other extra garbage. Is it anything wrong with having decent things? No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when we become obsessed and you think material things is success. That's not success. Here you're arrogant, you're vulgar, and you're nasty. You have poor character. But because you're rich, because you have some money, that's supposed to, you are successful. No, not with me. You don't impress me. I've been around people. I know millionaires. I've been around people with money. So what? I've been around celebrities. So what? Don't mean nothing to me. None of that stuff impressed me. That's why I like my sister. I was telling you about the sister from Invo. From my study of that sister, she's in that world, surrounded by celebrity, the money, the fame, and the fortune. I don't see that she don't care about that stuff. But y'all do. Nobody listens to Angelsnupnup7 because I need to look rich. Well, you need to take your rich, looking for rich ass on somewhere. Because it's not happening here. Because it don't mean nothing to me. You caught up in the matrix. You worship things that are dead. I'm interested in life. That's why I call us, and we did call ourselves at one time, the people of soul, because that which was alive was our only concern. But when we began to integrate with those who are obsessed with that which is non-living, then we began to lose our soul. Need to get your soul back. And what is the very thing that this devil wants from you? The devil wants for you to sell your soul. Not your blackness, not your Negro-ness, not your Kemeticness or Hebrew Israelitis. The devil wants your soul. And what is the purpose and the mission of this ministry? To give you your soul back. Greetings to everyone in the chat room. I thank you so much for joining me. This is spontaneous. I don't want to hold us long. I didn't want to really keep us long. Like I said, my weekend is shot. I thought I was going to have a little bit more time, but since I don't, let me run my mouth for a few seconds. And I appreciate your joining me live. All 10 subscribers. Now, again, another person was telling me about how smart Caucasian people are. They are the youngest people on the planet. How can the youngest people on the planet rule over the dark-skinned people where everybody else on the planet? They just came, they babies. Well, the youngest. I mean, look at your own family. The youngest. Ain't the youngest child in the family, ain't they the ones always spoiled? Ain't the youngest one always get away with stuff that you and me could not get away with? The youngest always get the newer clothes. They don't usually get the hand-me-down. They get what they want. They cry and they rant and they rave and they. But the older children, you know, we didn't get spoiled like that. We got the hand-me-downs. The youngest older little baby, he the baby of the family. She the baby of the family. So here comes the baby of the family. All the other people been on the planet for a little while. And you know, among the older brothers and sisters, you know how we have this, you know, we go through our thing with one another. But then here come the baby. Baby is treated differently. Even the older brothers and sisters, they got a thing for the baby. You didn't have certain shoes when you was growing up, but you know, you older and you working. I'm gonna give to the baby. So here you are, we have a people new on the scene, and they are treated the same exact way. The same way we treat the baby of the family. The same way. And what is it about babies? The youngest. They so cute. They bad as hell, but you trust them. And you let the babies get away with things you wouldn't let nobody else slide with, because they the baby. And that's how it is with the Caucasian people when they first came on the scene, being the youngest. They were trusted. Who are you? Never seen you before. They are new. So, and that's why you have a people that's brand new on the planet. You have older brothers, you have older people on the planet, and they are looking at this new guy. They don't know what this person is about. And we trust the baby. We trust this new fella. Plus, this new fella has a mentality that all the other people really aren't used to. Because at one time, you could do things because of your word. Your word is your bond. You didn't have to worry about all these contracts. You say or have your word, and your word is bond. And you would rather die than have your word fail. That is, there's older people on the planet had the mentality of honor. You don't have honor. You got people who manipulate and they lie easily. And this is something other people on the planet really wasn't used to. A liar, somebody that had no kind of honor. They never had to really deal with somebody like this before. So you have a manipulator, a liar, a deceiver on a scale nobody's seen before. This is not to say that people prior to Europeans or Caucasian people did not lie and things of this nature, but they have never done it on this type of scale. They made a living out of this. Now, so all over the world, somebody was telling me Caucasian people they are loved all over the world. Caucasian European people are not loved all over the world. What you have is a situation where they control much of the resources. They also have the greatest amount of weapons. So what you have is a bunch of people around the earth that skin and grin in their face. I'm not your friend. They skin and grin in your face because either they want what the Caucasian people got, or they are afraid that these suckers will drop a bomb on them. Has nothing to do. I love them and respect them. So the Caucasian people, Europeans, do not have true friends nowhere on the planet, even among themselves. You see, they got caught up in a scandal. That one fella, what's his name? That one fella got those emails out and went and whatever, and America was spying on that the president of Germany, the chancellor of Germany. They spied on one another. They don't trust one another. They're not friends to one another. They do the same thing. So that's all. That's what that's all about. They are not popular. It's fear. It's intimidation. They control the resources. Has nothing to do with them being loved. They are not loved. They don't even have that kind of love among themselves. That's quite clear. Now, The same person that tells me that Caucasian people are loved all over the world. Now this is the funny one right here. It really gets me. He says one of the solutions that dark-skinned people, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, what will what will help us solve our problem is that we need to find some slaves too, because slavery has been used all over the earth to get people, make them successful or whatever. So if dark-skinned people in America want to get ahead, we need to find somebody to enslave. Now, this is the killer. How are we going to do that in America? Slavery is illegal. I thought, unless you go to prison, you know, or whatever. You know, there are still forms of outright slavery, physical slavery. I mean, here we are, the lowest of the low. We on the bottom. Who the hell are we going to enslave? Matter of fact, we are not even a people. We're not even a people. So how are we going to enslave anybody when we are divided? How are we supposed to accomplish this? How are you going to be like, you want to practice the same thing that got us in the situation that we're in right now. How is that? So I don't get that. I had to talk about that because it's funny to me that a slave, in order to improve their condition, needs slaves. Which that was the case back in the day. There were dark-skinned people, free blacks, free soul people. They owned slaves. Now, some of them was low down and dirty. They done their slaves the same way that Massa done. But then there were free soul brothers and sisters who owned slaves, because many of the slaves, they were buying their relatives or friends, trying to get them up out of those different situations. That's what they was doing. It wasn't the fact that they wanted slaves. I'm trying to free my people. But then, just like in 2017, there are some of y'all out there in YouTube land, you would do the same thing. You would, if slavery was legal, y'all would buy some Negro slaves. You would. I know you would. Because you had the same type of mentality as your massa. It's legal. I mean, it was legal. And you don't see yourselves as brothers and sisters. There's many of you would be happy to put some chains on me and put me out in the field. I know you would, because you don't view me. You don't believe in God. You don't talk and sound like us. Put you out in the field, Negro. Well, with me, well, you better go ahead and kill me, because I would be giving you serious problems. I don't play that. I would rather be dead. You have to just go ahead and kill me, and I will be trying to get you before you get me. So you couldn't play that game with me. Now, I just thought that was funny. I mean, do it make sense to anybody out there? Does that make sense? That in order for you to improve your condition, I've never heard that before. In order for us to improve our condition, we have to find ourselves some slaves. What that? I heard it all now. I see why some of these faceless people, they don't want to show their face, because some of the things that they come up with and talk about, it's embarrassing. I would be ashamed to say, I would be ashamed to show my face. See, I am not ashamed to show my face, because I stand on mine. Whether it's right or whether it's wrong, I'm willing to show my face. Here's the fool. Here you go. Here I am. I'm the fool. I'm going to stand on mine. I don't give a damn about no job. I don't give a damn about my neighbors. I don't give a damn who cares. I don't give a damn who knows. I'm going to stand on mine. But these faceless people, you hide for a reason. There's a reason why you hide. And the way that some of these people talk, you need to be out here, show your face. That's right, Sister Sunshine. I heard that too. So it's not a new idea about these folks want to enslave somebody. But I heard the Hebrew Israelites, I think they want to enslave Caucasian people or something. I don't know. The whole thing is dumb. The human being needs to progress and move forward. I'm going to play you back. It reminds me of children. One child hits you and you want to try to hit the other child back. And you made me a slave. I'm going to make you a slave back. The whole thing is corny. Grow up and mature and move forward. That's what you need to do. You know, this childish stuff. Woo. Well, now I'm down to the nitty gritty. I want to talk about, there's a fellow, what, a hard code. I'm talking, sir. We can talk as soon as I get done with this, what I want to speak about. We can confab. Nobody's scared of y'all. I'm talking here. Why do people think, okay, I'm here spontaneous. I didn't even know I was going to make a video. I decided I'm going to make a video. All of a sudden, he's scared to accept a challenge. A challenge from who? From this Alquan person. I asked Alquan 5 or 6 times, let's set the debate up. Really, we have nothing to debate about. I enjoy much of what Alquan says, and I'm pretty sure he's heard what I had to say. The only thing that made Alquan upset with me is the fact is that I believe in justice. I'm not going to call you something, or I'm not going to accuse you of something that I cannot prove. I'm not going to call you an agent or a spy. I have no legal documentation. I have nothing to connect you to the CIA or FBI or some Jewish. I don't have no proof, but I'm calling everybody. Now this is the thing about me. Okay, you faceless yourself, and you're accusing people of being an agent and a spy. So my question is, you hiding, what is your purpose? What is your intent? You hiding, as far as I'm concerned, you an agent and spy. You a troublemaker. What's up with you? That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to, even when it comes to Caucasian people, the Europeans have done some very wicked things. However, if they did not do it, I'm not going to sit here and just add to the fire and because I believe in giving justice to people. You might not give justice to me, but I'm not going to be like you. I'm going to give people justice. I'm not going to accuse you of something that you did not say or do. I'm not doing it because I don't like you. I'm not going to be like those of whom I complain about. They deny, they are liars, they are manipulators, they are deceivers, they deny us justice. Why would I turn around and be like them? I'm not going to accuse you of something that you did not do. That's just justice. I'm not going to lie on you. So when I say something, the reason why my words hurt is because whatever I do say, I'm very confident in what I say, and it hurts some people's feelings. Instead of you taking the advice, taking suggestion, and learn from it and move on. But no, we don't want to admit that we are wrong. We don't want to admit that we are in error. So you can't be like me, because a fella gave me some advice early this week, and I rejected it at first. But then I decided to try it, and guess what? I'm a better person for it. You remain stagnant. Now let's do this here. Let's talk about this last issue. And I was thinking about this a little bit. Let me make something perfectly clear. I never come before the public, and you never heard me say that I am Mr. Know-it-all. I'm Mr. Right. Never, you never heard me say that. And I never get upset with people who disagree with me. And I start calling you names, and you stupid, and you ignorant. You never hear me do that. Never. It's not that serious. Plus, you are my brother. You are my sisters. I don't talk to people like that. I respect you. I respect your belief. I respect you as a human being. I'm not going to treat you that way because I want you to treat me the way I want to be treated. I don't want to be cussed out, so I'm not going to curse you out. I'm not going to call you a fool and you ignorant and silly. I'm not going to do that because I don't want you to do that to me. And plus, I'm not childish like that. I'm too old. I can't deal with it. Some of you are very, very childish. And see, I'm over 50 years old and I get grumpy. I can't take it. When I was in my 20s, a lot of this stuff, it'd be on and popping. I really would be enjoying myself. But I'm old and grumpy now. I can't. A lot of this childish mentality stuff that y'all got going on, I just can't do it. I would rather just leave you alone. And I believe it was it last night? Somewhere I heard they was bringing up Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. And Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. said that descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, the people I call the people of soul, we should not communicate. We should not even interact with one another unless we are bringing positivity. Because every time we do other, it causes problems. And that's a fact. Because you don't know how to talk to nobody. You don't know how to talk to a brother with respect and being civil. You don't know how to talk. You are Asian, you a spy, you a coon, you a Uncle Tom, and that. Sound like little children. The white man do this, and Uncle Tom and Coon. Where you learn them words from? The white man, but the white man do this, and these pink people, these Caucasian people, but you copy their words, and you believe everything they say. Now I'm crazy. The white man is a liar, but if the white man said that Negro, he needs his medication, he was in the crazy house, you believe everything that the cracker said now, because you mad at me because you don't like what I'm saying. Silly, hypocrites, fake folks. Stay away from me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with my 10 subscribers. Let me say this, and before I leave, I will deal with this what's the name, hard, cold, faceless people. See, let me tell you something. Faceless people. I don't debate faceless people. I show my face. You get on the same platform that I am on. I want to see your face. I want to look in your eyes. I want to see who I'm dealing with. Because you might be an agent. You might be a spy. You're not on my level until you show your face. I want to look you in your eyes. Just like you see me in living color. Well, you buy you a damn camera. Ain't no excuse. You buy you a camera. They $15, $24. Plug it in the USB port and it's on and popping. Ain't no excuse. Get you a used one. Get you a used camera. Ain't no excuse for it. I want to see you. I want to see your face. I want to see your eyes. You want to hide. So when I see your ass in the street, there go the one that I smashed. That's what it is. You want to be able to get your ass whooped and then nobody don't know nothing about it. It ain't happening here. I want to see your face. Now let me say this. Hell, I don't know why they want to deal with me live. I smash and whoop the hell out of your own paper. You can't do nothing with me on these posts. The only thing these people can do is block me. I don't cuss you out. I don't disrespect you. I just smash you with the truth. Easy. And you think you're gonna do something with me live? Oh no, no. We are here now. Bring your ass on, show your face. There's the link. Come on. After I finish talking, I got one more thing I need to say here. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Now, let me say this, because I don't have nothing against Alquan at all. I just made my opinion. That was it. You don't like it, that's your problem. Because the truth hurts. You want to make accusations and because you don't like somebody. All during the civil rights era, you had agents and spies running around, agents and spies around Dr. King, Malcolm, Elijah Muhammad, the Black Panthers. Nobody knew who these spies and agents were. But all of a sudden in 2017, all of a sudden you know who all the agents and the spies are. Get the hell out of here. It's stupid to me. Malcolm X had an agent right under him and didn't know it. But all of a sudden, y'all know who all the spies and the agents are. It's not that easy. Ask the United States government how difficult it is to catch a spy and an agent. Agents and spies blend with the people. They blend in. They're not trying to be a sore thumb. They're trying to blend in so they can hide. That's what agents and spies do. Now, let me talk about this word I don't like. I don't like this word mulatto. Now, for some of you who are familiar with my work, I did speak pretty harsh about mulatto people. But see, it was nothing personal. It's nothing personal against mulatto people. People who are called mulatto. We need to talk about this real quick. Because mulatto people are victims of white supremacy, just like you and me. They are used for certain purposes. And unfortunately, for many of us, because we don't know no better, because we don't. We know that having lighter skin makes it easier living in this racist society. And we know this. You have light-skinned soul brothers and sisters right now who are passing for white right now. They are passing. They're taking advantage because they understand. They're taking advantage of race. They know being dark, your life is going to be a little bit more difficult. And you have mulatto people. They're going to play this whole thing to them. They know if you're more white, play your white side, there's more of an advantage to that. That's just how it is in a racist society. Really, it's about surviving, doing what's best for you. I don't blame them. They are victims also. In fact, this word mulatto, of course, as you know, it's a concept that comes from out of racism, out of white supremacy. You should know that. And also, I don't like the word mulatto because it also reminds you, I guess the root word of mulatto would be mutt. Mutt as in a dog. Because when you have a mixed breed dog, you know, you call that dog a mutt. However, for me personally, I always like the mutt better than the purebreds. I love mutts. I love mutt dogs because mutt dogs have different personalities. When you deal with these breeds, these purebreds, they act just like what they talk about in these books when you talk about these different dog breeds. But when you get a mutt or a mulatto, you don't know what you get. It's a mix of different things because the dog has different DNA from a little bit of everywhere. I love mutts. I like mutts better than purebred dogs. But of course, when you live in a racism and you are in this predicament where one breed is better than another, it presents problems. So we're going to talk about this mulatto thing. So the first question that I want to raise when we talk about mulatto is, who is the purebred? You have a lot of dark-skinned people, descendants of slaves born in America. You've jumped into the racism, this race crap to yourself, and you want to talk about so-and-so is a mulatto. So-and-so is a mulatto. You sound just like your slave master. Because back in the day, our ancestors who were slaves, they did not trip off if you was a mulatto. They knew that some of the slaves, they knew massa was the father. They knew that. They did not care. They accepted you as you was because you still was a slave. Massa was your daddy though. Who is the purebreds? Since you're talking about mulattoes, who are the purebreds? Because when you're talking about dogs, okay, there go the German Shepherds. And if you deal with a German Shepherd, there is no other dog involved in German Shepherd. When you talk about Chihuahua, there is no other dogs involved in that. That's what makes them a purebred. Their breed is pure. Which now, see, this whole thing is sort of technical because those dogs actually are hybrids. They are mutations from the wolf. Their ancestors are wolves. The dog comes from the wolf, but a dog is not a wolf. These are hybrids, but they were bred in a certain way. The German Shepherd and the Great Dane and the Saint Bernard, they were bred in certain ways and raised where they became a breed. And then you have what you call a purebred dog. So my question is, in order to have a mulatto is a mix. And usually when we think about mulatto, it's a dark-skinned person, and and of course a Caucasian person. That's a mulatto. But a mulatto can be any type of mixed so-called race person. That's a mulatto. So show me these purebreds. Show me since many people don't like the fact that certain people who are mulattoes call themselves black. What makes you pure? Since you pure, what makes you pure to call the mulatto, to tell a mulatto person that they are not black? If they said that they're black, what makes you pure? I don't see, this is what gets me. I don't understand this. So you're pure. Only a purebred person can judge and tell a mulatto that they are mulatto. You pure. So what makes you pure? I'm a pure black person. What the question raised is, what is a pure black person? What is that? What is a pure black person? What do a pure black person look like? Don't look like me. I have plenty of melanin in my skin. I'm very dark. I got a lot. Just by my looks, you can tell there's not a whole lot of European running in my blood. But what is that? Because when you look at the so-called African Americaners, we go from the very light all the way to the very dark. There is no particular look that we have. We can look like almost anybody. So what is it? What do a purebred Black American look like? I did a Google search, and there is no specific look. However, if you do a Google search on certain Africans, the people on that continent, they have certain looks from different tribes. They carry a certain look. They are not mixed all up like us. They have, of course, they have genetic abnormalities sometimes. They have lighter skinned people now and then, but basically they are consistent in their look. The so-called African American is not consistent in their look. And these mulattoes, so-called mulatto people, if they didn't tell you that their mother was white or Caucasian or their father was, you wouldn't even know. But then when you find out, you're not black, who gives a damn? You should be happy anybody want to be black. You have so many of us don't want to be black. They are bleaching their skin, cutting their nose up, doing all kinds of stuff to look as Caucasian as possible. You should be happy anybody want to be black. But you have the same type of mentality as your slave master. Your slave master think the same way, and you do too. Black Power family, racist wannabe. Who are you to judge? You know something? See, we have been turned. Why are we obsessed with skin color? Because we are the children of racists. And you think that you're doing yourself a good thing by talking, I'm black and I'm the darkest and the melanin. You think that's a good thing. You become a racist like your slave master, the only mother and father you've ever known. You just like them. Your behaviors is like them. Why are you concerned about skin color? I was raised on a farm, sharecropper, and we had all these children. I mean, not children, all these chickens. We had black chickens, we had the red ones, we had yellow chickens. And I very much doubt that those chickens gave a damn about the difference in color. Only thing they saw, I saw me another chicken. And I'm gonna make me some eggs with another chicken. That's the only thing that was on their mind. They did not trip off the color of another chicken's feathers. But we are obsessed with skin color because we've been living with racists. And when you talk about black is a form of mulatto. You just become your own breed. That's the only difference. The difference between a so-called black person and this mulatto is the fact that you don't have no idea who your ancestors or who your white parents are. That's in your bloodline. You don't really know who they are. It just so happened that the mulatto, my mother was white. My father was. That's the only difference, because that mulatto, some of these so-called mulatto people, some of them are darker skinned than the ones, the black ones, or the soul brothers and sisters that talk about that they are not black. The mulatto is darker skinned than they are, look more black than they do. Explain that to me. Black is a product of slavery, racism. Whether you believe your ancestors came from Africa or they are Native American or whatever it is, we are a combination of all different various DNA, and this also includes the island. Don't forget the different islands. We are a combination of a whole lot of different folks. That's why we look like a little bit of everybody. And we also carry a lot of the blood from the Europeans because of rape and whatever. And in recent times, voluntary so-called love. This what makes a black person. So a black person is actually a mulatto. So how can a mulatto tell another mulatto, you ain't black? What difference does it make? The problem here is that we've been called, We've been caught up in the trap, this race trap, this trap of materialism and race. When I see a so-called mulatto, I see a human being. You are just like your slave master. You talk about black and white, and y'all run around here with the DNA test. You run around here with the DNA test, and you talking about I'm 50% this, I'm 20% that, and I'm 3% this, and who gives a damn? You give a damn because you messed up in the head living with racists who think like this. Who cares? And most times nobody don't give a damn. They go by what you look like. There's no way in the hell I'm going to pass as a Caucasian. So I might as well say I'm black. Of which I'm changing that whole crap. The people of soul. I'm getting out of the race game. No, I'm not black. I'm from the tribe of soul. That's what my people, my real ancestors gave me. And I'm going to build on that. I'm going to build on that. One of the purposes of this mulatto thing in the race game is to continue division, to divide and conquer the victims, because the mulatto is a victim in this sick game of racism. Divide and conquer. That's what it's all about. Keeping everybody all divided, all up. That's what it's all about. Because if ever you get out of this race trap and you begin to view people as human beings. Bruce Lee was interviewed and he was asked, do you consider yourself more Chinese or American? And Bruce Lee said, I consider myself a human being and wish to be the best human being I could be. Y'all skip that. You go straight to this race garbage that your slave master has got you conditioned to be. You skip the fact that we're supposed to be human beings. Human beings first. And I love a human being before I love a damn car. I love a human being before I love a bar of gold. Or some pearls. Human being first. We caught in this race trap. And you need to get out of it. That's the reason why I advocate calling us the people of soul, because calling us the people of soul takes us up out of racism, out of race. Now, I don't advocate interracial relationships. I don't do that. But it's not because I have a problem with Caucasian people romance with black folks or soul people. That's not the reason why. The only reason why I have a problem, I don't have a problem, I don't advocate interracial relationships is, first of all, we are not in our right state of mind. We are not in our right state of mind. And in order to love others, you need to learn how to love yourself. So once we get in our right state of mind and we learn how to love ourselves, then perhaps we can learn and fall in love with others. We need to learn how to love ourselves. But see, this is the thing. Once you learn how to love yourself, the chances of you wanting to fall in love with somebody else, chances are it's not going to happen, because you want to be with somebody who's like you. Like what you see in the natural world. This lion stays with this lion. This cat stays with this cat. These birds stay with those birds. They're not trying to integrate with nobody else because they have a love and concern with themselves. And as a man seeks to secure his DNA so that his life can go into the future. If I put my seed into a Caucasian woman, that's not the that's spoiling my DNA. That's breaking my DNA up. The only one who can carry my DNA is another soul sister. And that's the way a man's supposed to think. If he wants to live into the future, he's not living into the future, putting his seed into a woman that's outside of himself. There's only one woman for you if you're a soul brother, and that's a soul sister. And we have a lot of problems, but we can get, once we get into our right state of mind, all these problems, we can deal with all that. But we look very crazy. We look insane. And some of y'all think that you're really smart and you're a racist wannabe. You copy and have the same mentality as your slave master and don't even realize it. You thinking that you really black power, black this, blackity, black. You are a racist wannabe. You thinking like the one that put you in this situation. Black is a hybrid. Black is a form of mulatto. So how can a mulatto tell another mulatto you ain't black? When that's what black is. Black is mulatto. Some have more African, Native American DNA. Some have less. But you a mulatto. You a mulatto too, with your black self. I'm just putting that out there because that bothers me. I don't want to see people as mutts. I see you as a human being. And we should see people as human beings and think outside of race. These races, these wicked people who love dead things, because gold is not alive. Cars is not alive. Rubber, they got you falling in love with dead things. I'm not into that. You're supposed to be just like the people of Christ. You're supposed to be learning how to raise the dead to life. Give them their soul back. And with that said, I just wanted to put that out there. I talked longer than I really wanted to, but it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate everyone. This was spontaneous, and I'm not going to just go. I will entertain questions, but I'm not going to entertain a debate unless you want to come here. The link is right there. Come on, we can talk. There's nothing to be scared of. I'm not going to bite you, but I want to see your face. If you want to talk to me like that, and you want to maybe try to cuss me out, I want to see your damn face. You're not going to come here and I don't see what you look like. Let me see here. I just put the link back up there. It was way up at the top, so I just put it back up there. That's right, Sister Sunshine. You have people dying over this stuff. Rubber, just like she said, rubber in the gym, minerals. Do you know how many people die trying to get coal? They go down in these coal mines. They get this black lung disease, and the mine shafts fall on these people. Nobody gives a damn about the exploitation of others. They are still using child labor. They are still using child labor in other countries. You have little children that need to be in school, getting an education. They are in sweat factories. And we benefit with all these cheap products. Nobody cares about them because we don't care nothing about life. There are reports that people are being enslaved in Libya, slaves being sold for $400. Who really cares? The United States opened all that up. When they took Muammar Gaddafi out of Libya, they opened all that up. And you don't hear nothing from the United States government or none of these European nations about the slavery trade that's going on in Libya right now. They're not saying nothing. So, I don't know why these people getting angry at me. I'm not trying to hurt you. We need to come up with different solutions, a different strategy, a different mentality. Clearly, what we have is not working. It's not. We are always loyal. Why are we always loyal to these things? If a man saved my life, then he saved my life. He's supposed to save my life because out of concern and care, not because I owe him something. Many of these people, well, if it wasn't for Jesus, if it wasn't for Muhammad, and blah, 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 you don't owe them your life. You don't owe them servitude. They're supposed to do that because they are concerned with your life. You don't owe them anything. I always thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was my father when I was a child. But also at the same time, I can have a disagreement with my father. You don't always agree with everything your parents say or do. That's why you leave your mama and your father's house and you go get your own house. That's what you do. But you don't hate your mother. You don't hate your father. I don't hate the Nation of Islam. I'm telling you my experience and I'm showing you flaw and error. No more, no less. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate Minister Farrakhan. Why people, just because you disagree with somebody or whatever, or you hate Minister Farrakhan, you hate the Nation of Islam. I have people in the Nation of Islam that I'm very cool with. I have relatives in the Nation of Islam. Hate for what? Hate you. Don't make any sense. I hate Sanetta. I hate Umar Johnson. Just because you disagree with somebody or you point error and flaw, you hate them. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate soul brothers and sisters. There's enough people out here that hate you enough. I don't need to join them. And you want to know something else? I don't care nothing about debating soul brothers and sisters. That's not my thing. I want to debate the enemy. You're not my enemy. But you get so filled with this thing because you will know it all and you want to show people that you so right. I'm gonna debate that Negro. He don't know what he's talking about. Instead of looking at somebody and saying, look, okay, I don't agree with this brother on this, but I agree with him on that. Let's work from where we agree upon. We already know where we disagree. And I don't expect you to agree with a lot of the things that I say because my mind, this brain, this mind here, I'm 1000% liberated. I'm liberated from that European garbage. I'm also liberated from these fictional fantasy Black scholarship teaching stuff that we've been taught. I have been raised from the dead 2 times. So I don't expect you to agree with the things that I say because you cannot comprehend yet. Many of you can't. Some of you we all on the same page. I know 10, we on the same page. And I also know that wherever this 10 go, y'all can't do nothing with us. Can't do nothing with us. Oh, okay, let me see. Sunshine, you say, brother, do you suspect that Brother Malcolm was going to try to unite the millions of Muslims in other countries who do not acknowledge NOI? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Really, I don't know what to really say about that, because Malcolm, before he really could get started, you know, he was murdered. So I really don't know what his intention was, but I'm pretty sure Malcolm was a unifier, and Malcolm was a Muslim, and I'm very sure as a Muslim, you should want to unify the Muslims around the earth. I'm very sure of that. But I don't know, you know, I think that he would probably want to unite the brothers and sisters in the country where he lives first. That probably would have been #1 priority for Malcolm. But, you know, but being a Muslim, I'm very sure that probably would have been put on his agenda. Unfortunately, we don't know what Malcolm could have done. I do know that we suffer greatly because Malcolm X, that brother, was on point. He was on point. And a lot of the people that was with him really was not with him because they wasn't ready for what Malcolm really, the way Malcolm really wanted to move. Because Malcolm's mentality, Malcolm, even if he wasn't, if that didn't happen with him in the Nation of Islam. I got somebody here. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna put you on in a second. H hardcore. I see you. I'm gonna put you on in a second. Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you should. You're on the air. Yeah. So I don't know what Malcolm would have done. They you know, he thought he was thinking outside of the box. He was thinking outside of the Nation of Islam. So eventually, I think Malcolm would have split from the Nation of Islam anyway, because his mentality was not rigid like those in the nation. He didn't have that type of mentality. And you, Sister Sunshine, you go on to say, hey, New Life, wouldn't that have made the NOI obsolete? I think it would have. Matter of fact, all these things are going to become obsolete, because the reason why they come into existence anyway is because of a problem. Once that problem is solved, you don't need them no more. And see, a lot of these people, they really don't want a solution to this problem because they are making a living, which I'll call them race hustlers. If we solve this problem, what they gonna do? This is how they make their money. This is how they got their fortune and fame. If you take this problem away from them, then what are they going to do? This is how they sell their books, DVDs, debate, and all this other crap. So yeah. All right. Is it hard code? Are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, this is Alquan, right?
Oh, okay. What's up, Alquan? All right, brother. I didn't know. You know, you hard code. I didn't.
I had to start a new channel since my other one I couldn't upload any more videos for a while.
Oh, what happened, man?
I don't know. I got flagged down for showing a butt in one of the videos. So they stopped me from uploading. Then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, they took it back.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell me why, and they didn't tell me that they rescinded it. So now I can upload again. But in the meantime, I still got this hardcore channel, so this will be my backup.
Okay. All right. All right, brother. Well, I mean, it's good to hear from you, man.
Don't worry, man. I'm not gonna talk any junk or nothing like that. Cuss you out, and nothing like that. So I know you're probably worried about that. I don't get down like that.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, I seen. I think it's on your channel. You was trying to speak with that sister Zaza Gabor.
Zaza Ali.
Yeah, you know, he's stalking me, and he answer the man's question.
Okay.
That's what I was saying to myself. Answer the man's inquiry. It's simple as that, Zaza. You know?
Yep. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find her again and see what show she's on, because I still wanted to answer the question. The reason why I asked her the question is because you were talking about the mulatto.
Yeah.
And she's one I didn't know that was mixed until she said it. And before that, I just thought she was a light-skinned black woman.
Right.
But see,
you really don't. One of my favorite singers I found out is a mulatto. But it didn't change. It didn't change my opinion of her. But you know, I just found out. I mean, because unless some of these people, for some reason, you find out. How do you know? They just look like some light-skinned Negro, you know?
Yeah. Who's this singer you're talking about?
Cindy Herron from En Vogue. Her mother is Swedish.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found that
out. Damn.
Because, you know,
I thought all of them were straight up black.
Yeah, but she don't look nothing. She looks more like a sister than the rest of them do.
Yeah.
But her mother is Swedish.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
And she was the first one of them I had the most crush on her when they first came out.
Damn, that's news to me, man. You just told me something new.
Yeah. Then I looked up on well, they said Wikipedia isn't that reliable, but I did a Google search on Wikipedia, and it was talking about her mother's Swedish too.
Oh, straight up Swedish, or has Swedish in her?
No, as far as I know, it's a straight up Swedish lady. You know,
well, I know some of those usually they mix with Africans in Sweden, and the kids do come out looking kind of more black,
Well, she definitely do. And she don't have no straightness in her hair. You can't tell, and she built like a sister.
Yeah, I didn't sense any whiteness from her. If anything, it was I think her name was Dawn. Yeah. I don't even think she considers herself black anyways.
I think she do.
Okay. Well, she married a white dude though.
But I think she said her grandmother was Native American or something like that.
Well, you know how that goes. Everybody's Irish and Native American, Could be. I mean, according to Henry Louis Gates, which is the video I'm putting up next, because I have recorded a while ago, because I'm going in on that guy. Because I'm tired of that guy with his history DNA thing, always trying to relate black people to slaves in Africa only. I'm tired of that. And why does he keep having so many blacks on? All the Hispanics he have on, they always got to be Jewish, or they got to be Arabic, Semitic, but hardly any black. But when it comes to black people, he keeps saying, "Oh, you're not a Native American. You're not this. You're an African slave, huh?" So I'm going on that. I'm tired of that guy now.
But you know something, Alquan?
Yeah.
See, it was a couple of years ago. Which, when I started my channel, I've never spoken about the African thing. I never dealt with that type of deal. I never spoke that way anyway. I just basically said, we the black people, we need to unite and blah blah blah. I never really spoke about the whole African thing or whatever. But it was brought to my attention a couple of years ago about the possibility that the majority of us are Native Americans. Our ancestors are originally from here. Oh yeah. And when I heard it, I was just like a lot of other people. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. You just don't want to be African and blah blah.
Me too.
I was just like them. But you know something? But see, my mind is always open. And so as time goes on, and they show their evidence, because there's some brothers and sisters that make very beautiful videos showing you. And they backing up what they're talking about. But what really got me though, when I look at my own family tree, I was looking at some of my uncles and aunts, and I'm like, what Africans they look like? I'm starting looking now, like myself. You know, I could probably pass for some African person or whatever. You know, me, I'm dark skinned. My father was, you know, real dark or whatever. But then I noticed my great grand uncle, he looked like Geronimo. That's what got me to thinking about this. I said, if we Africans, how the hell can my grandfather look like Geronimo?
You know, what's other thing that's kind of interesting, I'm sure like you and every other black person, we have run into black people, even our own family. Practically every black family I know who's from the United States always said that they had some Native American ancestry. If it wasn't that, it was Irish. So, you know, after a while, you're like, hey, man, there has to be something to this. You know, and when you got a guy like a Henry Louis Gates Jr. Making these shows and trying to take away the Native Americanness, and the only thing he's willing to accept in his so-called DNA test, like, is if that's the end of the whole debate for every black person, is okay, you have some white in you, but you come from this part of Africa, that part of Africa, another part of Africa, always West Africa. And I always make note when it comes to the black people that he tests, they always have to come from West Africa. But when he tested himself out, he comes from Egypt, the sacred part of Africa. See, that's what I noticed. How come nobody else is from Egypt? See? What's up with that? So I got a video coming up on that pretty soon. Well, let me address this, though.
Okay. When
you talked about, when I made the video on Sonnet and the House of Consciousness, I thought I laid it out pretty clearly. And obviously there's some people in some camps. Some people can't stand the guys for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Others think that they're the next black saviors. and I think a lot of people, they have experience with Sonnet. My rule on YouTube is simple. If they block you, that means they have an agenda and they don't want to hear anybody else's point of view. Sonnet blocked me quite some time ago. I have to keep making new channels just to comment. And he does that with a lot of people, and that gets people pissed, because that's what people get pissed off with Tommy for blocking them, just because you critique them. I mean, when people don't want critiques, they have an agenda. So I laid out the case for these guys being coon agents, house niggers, Freemasons, ex-cons, drug addicts, because there's no such thing as an ex-drug addict, and criminals. I mean, again, you kind of got on me. And I'm like, why is this guy acting like I'm not telling the truth when they admitted that they're ex-cons? Sonetta shows you the picture of when he was in prison.
But I didn't say that you wouldn't tell a lot of truth. The only thing that I was saying, basically, Brother Alquan, is the fact, you know, when you start talking, well, we know that they are ex-cons and all. We know about all that stuff. But I'm talking about when we start calling people agents and spies, and see, that's a very serious charge. And for me, you know, if you're gonna call me an agent and spy, then what information do you have that I'm affiliated with the FBI, CIA, some Jewish organization? You know, you saying it like you actually know. You're not saying I believe, I assume, we can assume. You're saying that this person is what it is. And see, that's my problem. I don't want to accuse people, because, you know, I was in the nation for 9 years, and there's a lot of things that I saw and a lot of things that I heard, and I can say, well, Minister Farrakhan and this and that, but see, if you ask me to prove it, I couldn't do it, and I don't want to speak out and say some things that I know I have no chance in hell to prove. I would say, well, I assume, and I can say that I heard, but I can't say that he actually did this or he actually did that. I can't do it. I only want to tell people what I actually know. And if I don't know, I would tell the people what I assume and I heard, you know, so you can take that or let it alone. You can run with it, whatever.
Well,
That's the only thing I was saying.
That's what I do. I put the circumstantial evidence together.
Yeah.
And I analyze what people say and what they don't say. And you could tell a whole lot about what people are about by what they don't say. And these Sonetta House of Consciousness, They rarely touch on the Jews. That's how I put everybody to the Jewish test. If they leave the Jews alone, something's up. So if they keep calling people niggers, like Sonetta with his Dominicans, he'll go spend money with his Dominican brothers, and he's a Dominican. I told you, all these guys are from the Caribbean. Who's Black American among them? Why are they speaking on our behalf? Speak for your Dominicans, speak for your Nigerians, speak for your other Caribbeans. Don't speak for us. So again, these guys are agents. And another thing, when they come out of the prison system, that's where a lot of these agents get recruited because they get little favors and perks for petty crimes. Now, people say Zaza Ali, Ginger Daniels, that's her real name. She went to prison, or could have been in prison. She definitely an ex-con. And she all of a sudden became a Black power consciousness person as well. So, I mean, you can connect the dots. It's pretty simple. I mean, for some people, I guess we need to go into even more detail, but obviously we're not going to get their agent calling card. We're not going to get that from them because they're, you know, what's the point of them being agents? But one thing you can guarantee is that the side of the House of Consciousness, they're definitely Freemasons. You can't deny that because that's all they're kicking. That's why they keep talking that Egypt stuff all the time. I mean, how many years do you have to keep talking about Egypt? Like you said, Egypt died out a long time ago. 2,500 years ago was the last time a Black native Egyptian ruled Egypt. And that is if you don't count Nasser and Sadat. But Nasser and Sadat ruled in the name of Arabs, not in the name of Egyptians. So, and a lot of people say, no, Nasser, he's an Arab. But how can, I tell people this all the time. I say, well, how can Bashar Assad be an Arab and Nasser being Arab and Sadat being Arab, or Bashir of the Sudan being Arab? They don't look alike. Somebody's got to be fake, you know? So when it comes to Arab, I always say this. Why would the white man look at a Bashar Assad and say, you're a sand nigger and you're a doom coon? That wouldn't be the first thought that comes to their mind if you saw that guy. You know, first thought that comes to your mind, that's a white man. You know, and that's what they are. That's what people have to understand. White man lays it out in front of you. He's not going to tell you everything directly. You got to kind of piece things together. When he calls somebody a Arab, a sand nigger, he called them that for a reason, because the real ones are Black. Bottom line, plenty of pictures on the internet. And before Gaddafi got toppled, the white man led you to believe there were no Black people in North Africa, even though Anwar Sadat was pretty out there. People know about him. But now all of a sudden, people know that there are Blacks in Libya all of a sudden. But according to the white man, it's not supposed to be any Blacks in North Africa, in the Sahara. So, you know, these are the lies that get deciphered. This is how you decipher who's an agent as well. You just put the pieces together and it comes to you. I've been listening to these guys from the beginning. I didn't just start listening to them a few months ago and then say, oh, these are coon agents because I don't like what they're saying. I listened to them. Sutek, cocaine addict. He admitted that. That's true. I mean, he's always grabbing his nose, sniffing all the time. Sadnetta, you already know what he's all about. I mean, Natural Tahuti. Come on. We know the story on this guy. I mean, so again, the claims I make, I'm not going to call out people and make claims that I think are BS. I'm not one of those kind of people who just coming out here talking junk just to get attention or just to talk the junk. I analyze the facts, just like on Louis Farrakhan. I'm going to try and get to him before he dies, because I don't want people saying that, oh, man, you're picking on the guy. But you know he killed Malcolm X and he was in on it. There's no doubt about that. And you know that he had Khalid Muhammad shot. You know that. And you know what people don't know is that the white man told him to do these things. That's what happened. I know some people might say, well, how do you prove that? Because right now, Farrakhan is a Scientologist. He likes homosexuals. He has white people in the Nation of Islam, Mexicans in the Nation of Islam. I don't know why a white person would want to join the Nation of Islam except to spy. I mean, because I mean, if you're following the actual teachings of Elijah Muhammad, then the white man is the devil. So why would you want to join a group that calls you the devil? I mean, that doesn't make sense. But when you figure that Farrakhan is a coon agent, then it all makes sense. So that's what this guy is all about. I mean, my evidence shows that Farrakhan was a coon agent from the beginning of his tenure in the Nation of Islam. And we definitely know that that's the case now because he has the white grandchild, white daughter-in-law. I think it's the 2012 speech in July when he had the white suit on and he was talking about the colleges that his grandchildren were going to. He told the white guys in the audience, the Scientologists, to stand up and give these guys respect. I don't know if you remember that speech. You should. I'm sure you paid close attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he basically apologized to everything ever said about the Nation of Islam to white people in that speech. And at that point, I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of continuing with the Nation of Islam at that point? But yet after that, then he goes back to talking about the enemy and how they're doing this and doing that, and they keep trying to kill me. See, guys like him, Alex Jones, Professor Griff, and these other coon agents, they like to keep saying that they're out to kill me. Right. That makes it seem like they're telling the truth, or they're But the truth is, if the white man was out to kill you, you would have been killed already. I mean, Martin Luther King knew he was about to get killed because you heard that in his speech. You could tell by the tone of his voice. But see, he stood up. See, he didn't tell whatever the secret he was supposed to tell that he could have told because he knew he was going to die. He still kept whatever secret, which is probably a Freemason secret. And he took it, you know. Farrakhan is obviously a coward because he wants to live as long as possible. You know, some people may not like me saying that, but these are the facts as I see it. To me, Farrakhan is the biggest Uncle Tom house nigga in the history of the United States because he led black people on for all these years doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's why. And killed a brilliant black man in Malcolm X. Because Malcolm X showed you that you can come from a drug addict, thug, Uncle Tom, messing with those white women. He was Uncle Tom, and a nobody. And then you can reform yourself. And he became so brilliant that he outsmarted and outclassed the people from the Harvard, Yale, Columbia. I mean, without I don't think he finished high school, right?
No.
So, I mean, it goes to show. Yeah, so it goes to show blacks can be brilliant, and that's why Malcolm X was important and still stands as an example today, while Farrakhan does not get the respect that Malcolm X got, but he wishes he did. And one more clue, I'm going to say this too. This is how you could tell Farrakhan's an agent, because every time he needs the press to come and report on something, they come. You know, he claims, and then he'll say in his speech, they don't talk about me. You're always on CNN or whatever they call. I mean, come on, these are games. And he gets caught in one lie after another over the years, not realizing, or probably is realizing, but probably doesn't care that he's being videotaped and recorded audio. So people can go back and say, okay, this man lied. And I remember somebody caught him on a lie when he's talking about the nappy hair. And then first he said, I didn't say that. And then they caught him. Then he's like, okay, well, I'll apologize for that. So, you know, he's a nonstop liar.
But I thought that was supposed to be some of the teachings, though. I thought that's how. So why would you apologize if that's the teaching? That's the teaching. The teaching said that we got the nappy hair because brothers, they rebelled. No, they went from whatever the tribe of Shabbat. Anyway, they went into the jungle, and we developed the kinky hair. That's why our hair on our eyebrows is straight and the hair on our head is different, because we went out in the jungle and basically sort of became sort of savage. And our nose got broader and everything like that. And that's how all that began, because we became a rebel against God. That's the teachings.
Living a jungle life, right?
Yeah, really living a jungle life.
See, that's that Uncle Tomism of the Nation of Islam, because what about the blacks in the desert? Did they were they living a desert life? I mean, how come a jungle life is bad, but a desert life is not bad?
But I don't remember. I don't remember reading that in Message to the Black Man. None of the Messenger's books. I don't remember hearing that story told like that in the Messenger's books. Message to the Black Man. You know, it talks about you know, the brothers splitting from the tribe and going down into the jungles, but it didn't explain it like that. I don't remember reading it that way.
Right, I did hear Elijah Muhammad say that, but the way Farrakhan said it, he said it like he really hated black people. Yeah. And keep in mind, he also said that he was a mulatto as well recently. And I'm like, I mean, what's going on here, man? I mean, when you think about the Nation of Islam, you think about their God. It's a white dude. I mean, they call him God, they call him master. So I'm like, it's a contradiction on hating the white man. I'm like, and all the leadership has been light skinned except for Taalik. Taalik has been a brilliant Nation of Islam leader. Yeah. For some reason, the powers that be didn't want him to be that. And
also like what you were saying too, a lot of the people, even Malcolm himself, they have Caribbean, they have that island ancestry behind them. Even Malcolm, you know, his people came from the islands too.
Yeah. Just his mother, though.
Yeah. Well, both of Farrakhan's parents come from the island.
Yep. So he talks about his hair and all that kind of stuff, and I guess he wants us to believe that's his natural hair. Here's the clue, though. He was also on TV in the 1948, I believe, playing the violin on some show.
Yeah, when he was a child.
I looked that show up. I forgot the name of it, but it was apparently some
Ted Mack Amateur Hour.
Yeah. Apparently, it was some talent show back in the days. I guess I think it lasted up into the '60s. I think.
Wasn't that Gladys Knight was on that show too?
Oh, okay. Was Irene Cara on there too? Was she on there? Was that another show? Because I did see a video of Irene Cara in the early '60s.
Not that old.
Nah, she was in the '60s. Little kid though. In the '60s, she was on some show. But Farrakhan, the fact that he was on the show in 1948, I'm like, I don't know, man. That's how they set him up. And Farrakhan lied over the years by saying that you know, he's down with Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X was his teacher, but Elijah Muhammad was his guy. But he even said before that he got into the Nation of Islam because he heard Malcolm X. He heard Elijah Muhammad before Malcolm X, but Elijah Muhammad bored him. Right. So that's what he said.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, this is another case of, I guess you could say, a Sith Lord taking the place of their master, getting their master shot down, they take their place. So, you know, with this is why Farrakhan is a coon agent and the biggest Uncle Tom house nigger in American history.
Well, I can't defend Farrakhan, so you can say whatever you want. It's not up to me to defend Farrakhan. Now, back in the day, in the 80s, it's been on and popping. But, you know, I can't, you know, and the thing about it is that Mr. Farrakhan keeps bringing all this confusing, he keeps bringing all this stuff. It would, you know, if I was a member of the nation right now, I mean, my mind would be just spinning because I'm like, damn, every time I try to defend this, he brings something else new. You know, he always got his people on the defensive with all this crap that he keeps bringing up. You know, he just made a statement talk about he made a mistake and Jesus is, you know, he should have been with the Christ and then this ontology thing. You know, like,
I think it's the razzle dazzle people's minds because he's a big liar, and you know he's a Freemason. Khalid Muhammad was a Freemason. Elijah Muhammad was a Freemason. So Nation of Islam is a Freemason outfit.
Where was you guys when I was in the nation? I wish I had heard some of this stuff.
Hey, I used to debate Nation of Islam members on the street corner, and you know they came up with some good responses and stuff. But you know I still toe to toe with them. But at the time, I didn't know the deeper parts of it, but I knew Farrakhan was definitely not a cool guy. One thing I knew for sure is after almost 100 years of talking mean and looking mean, what has been done?
Right.
Nothing has been done except he moved to Scientology.
Yeah.
I mean, and with that basically shuts the door on the Nation of Islam, when you move to Scientology, he doesn't even respect Elijah Muhammad's teachings.
Right.
That's the thing. Whether you believe them or not, he's not even following that.
No.
So that is a problem with the guy. In a way, I can't wait for the guy to expire so then we can move on. And because this guy, Uncle Tom's, I don't have any love for Uncle Tom's. I'm sorry. Especially when they do harm to black people. If you're just doing it for yourself, being greedy, without harming black people, fine. Do whatever you have to do. But when you're harming black people, that's a big problem.
Right.
A lot of people had hope. A lot of people, especially the younger generation, they keep seeing Farrakhan as a leader, but they don't understand what he's all about. Like when Gaddafi was alive, he kept saying to the government, "You better not touch a hair on my man's head." That's how he kept on talking.
Right.
Damn, this guy mean business. I was still thinking, okay, this man is serious.
Mm-hmm.
But then once they moved into Libya, and then he started calming down. Then after they killed him, the first speech, I think it was in DC, I think, on the street, after Gaddafi got killed, my man's whole speech, first of all, he didn't even talk about him that much, number one. It was basically like, well, he got killed. Ah, well. I mean, I'm like, all this talk before, like he was his best friend and all this kind of stuff, and then after the man dies, who cares? I'm like, God damn. I mean,
it just reminds me of that justice or else crap, you know. Everybody keep asking, or else what? And see, Minister Farrakhan he know how far to go and not cross that line. He know what line not to cross. And he's trying to explain that justice or else what. And so he had the Million Man March, which I did attend. And, you know, the people there basically was like, you know, we was disappointed. Like the man talked about the history of Washington, D.C. for about an hour or so. Like, we didn't come here and listen about no damn history of Washington, D.C. See, he was in a position really to be what we really need in the community. One leader that everybody can gather and support. You know, instead of all this divided stuff, he could have been that one leader where we can all rally and go for him.
Yep.
But he blew it. I'm like, this man is not a leader. And
I don't think he blew it. I think he just did what the white man told him to do because they need to make him look legit so he can lead us to nowhere.
Well, yeah, well, he didn't because he got on a plane, got the hell out of Dodge City because the people that you call coons and stuff, they was on them radios or whatever and talk about that dude every day. And I mean, they was laughing at him and whatever. Next thing you know, he's on a plane. God told me to go to Saudi Arabia, to the Muslim world, and no, Negro, you got tired of these Negroes talking about you every day. And he was out of the States for 2 years. I said, this is the man is your leader. He kicked us off. Then he gonna get on a plane and leave the country for 2 years.
Yeah, man, this guy, man, I don't know who's gonna take over the Nation of Islam or even if anybody will.
Once he expires, it's a done deal because he's trying to set up Ishmael Muhammad. People don't like Ishmael Muhammad. He knows the teachers, whatever. And the only reason why he's where he's at is because he's supposed to be Elijah Muhammad's son.
Yep.
But they're not into him. They're not, he's not a talker. The only one that I see that had any kind of potential is Nuri, because Nuri sort of looks like Farrakhan. Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking they brought this guy up. But he's a little tiny guy.
Yeah, Nuri sort of looks like Farrakhan, but he can't. He just don't have that. He don't have that. He still can't get that.
No, but he's all right though. He's better than Wesley Muhammad. Wesley Muhammad will make people say, you know what, I quit.
And I don't know where Wesley Muhammad get his information, because see, I think it's on YouTube. Elijah Muhammad made very clear that Prophet Muhammad is supposed to be a white guy. But that's not what Wesley Muhammad said. Wesley Muhammad said that Prophet Muhammad was black. I said, wait a minute, see, that's some confusion, because your teacher, which is Elijah Muhammad, said that the Prophet Muhammad of the Quran is a white guy.
You sure that's his teacher? Because when I hear Wesley Muhammad speak, He says that his teacher is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, but the teacher's supposed to be Elijah Muhammad, though.
I don't hear him say that, though.
I haven't even heard. Well, I mean, this is what I told a brother that I'm cool with. He told me, I'm going to follow Elijah Muhammad. I said, sir, you can't follow Elijah Muhammad. He dead. You can't follow a dead man. No matter how hard you try, unless you want to go to the cemetery where you at. We cannot follow dead people. You can't follow Jesus. They not around. You follow Reverend Mudflap or whoever you follow. You cannot follow that which don't exist.
Eric Muhammad made a good point, though. He said, we follow Elijah Muhammad, even though he tries to claim that he's not dead, but yeah, I mean, it's like people following Jesus, that you could follow the program that was set up, which I could believe that could be done. But that's what Farrakhan should have been doing.
But that's not what they're saying. They're saying that they actually are followers of Elijah. They're not talking about following the program or continuing the work. They are saying they actually follow these people. You cannot follow dead folks, man. That's why they assassinate you. So that
I guess that's why some Nation of Islam keep saying that Elijah Muhammad is not dead. But you know,
but you know something, legally in this country, legally they say after 7 years, as far as they're concerned, legally you're dead, and we don't see you, so you might as well be dead.
Yeah.
And what is another thing they always say? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep, that's the way I feel about when anybody tries to say that Black Americans are only about 75% Black and the rest is white or something like that. Then I say, hey man, if you can't find the white, it doesn't exist. Right. You know, I don't care what we look like.
You know, we focus too much on that crap though. This race garbage. You know, we just like them. Oh, I'm 25% this and I'm 20. Who gives a damn? I really don't trip off of that. Only thing I know, if I get pulled over by the police, he don't give a damn about that. 25%. I ain't never heard no cop say, actually, I never heard no cop ask a so-called Negro, are you a homosexual? Because if you're a homosexual, that's cool, because you can continue to defeminize the Black community or whatever it is. They don't ask nothing. You get pulled over by a cop, one of them racist crackers, and it's a done deal. They don't ask you whether you 25%, 3%, and all this kind of stuff. They don't ask you that stuff. Kapow.
Because at that point, the percentage is moot, you know?
That's right, it's moot.
If the percentage had any value, then where's our goddamn money to match the percentage? That's what I say. When people talk this oneness stuff, never mind all that kumbaya, we're all the same. If we're all the same, you show me the damn money. That's the way I feel about it, you know? So
and that's the, you know, when I was 18 years old, man, like I told you, I told the audience, you know, many, many times, I was introduced to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad when I was a little boy. And I always wanted to join the nation, but by the time I was able to join the nation, it was destroyed. And Minister Farrakhan was supposed to be bringing it back. So I know the teachings. When I was a little boy, my relatives gave me all, I wasn't even in the nation. My relatives gave me all the materials if I was a member in the nation. You know, the lessons and everything. So I know the teaching. So when Minister Farrakhan said in the 80s, I'm bringing this back, I'm building this back, I'm like, hey, yeah, I want to be part of that. But then I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, he's not teaching Elijah Muhammad stuff.
Yep, he's slowly trying to drift you off to the white man. You know, that's what he's trying to do. I remember when I was 17, some guy in the Nation of Islam on the block, he tried to recruit me. And he's like, hey, brother, why don't you come to this meeting we're about to have tonight and check us out. I said, well, I kind of know about you. I said, I'm not really trying to join. But he's like, you don't have to join, just come in. I said, all right, man, I'll try to be there. Then he shook my hand and he said something I never forgot. He's like, all right, brother, you said you're going to be there. Now, if you're not there, that means your word is no good. And if your word is no good, what kind of person does that make you?
Right.
So I said, that's some powerful stuff. So I said, these guys know how to persuade. So I did go to the meeting. But obviously I went in there like I go into church. I'm just going because somebody asked me to go, but I'm not giving up any money. I'm not joining nothing, you know?
Right.
And then years later, I saw that guy. He wasn't in the Nation of Islam anymore. So I don't know what happened with that.
The Nation of Islam have a very high turnover. Very high. It does. You know, our temple, the temple I was in, it could be as high as 200, then drop as low as 40 real quick.
Man.
Yeah. I don't see them come and go, you know.
What do you think is the problem? You think it's because they keep lying, they don't keep things straight, or what?
In our temple, the ministers, the leadership, they don't know how to handle people. They don't know how to talk to nobody. And especially this little guy, I think he's deceased now. He was one of the old ministers of Elijah Muhammad back in the day. He was around during Malcolm's day too. Brother Robert. This guy, I mean, he could teach really, really well, but his people handling skills was very, very poor. Now, him and I, we used to get into it a lot because I wouldn't allow him to talk to me any kind of way. I don't play that. See, I have a mental problem. I do have a mental problem. I have a mental problem. I do. I have a mental problem because I was bullied as a child. And once I got that bully off me, if I feel threatened and bullied, you and I, we got a problem because I'm not going to allow you to do anything and say anything to me like that. I'm not going for it. I'd rather you kill me and be done with it. I don't play that. So I would get into it with him, and I don't know how many times I was insubordinate. Brother, you can't talk to the minister like that. The hell the minister talking to me like that? The hell with him. I don't care about what he talking about. That dude don't disrespect me, man. And you know, I was insubordinate so many times, but see, I was working so hard and whatever, they didn't really want to put me out the temple. I was working hard, you know, I was doing a job, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, okay, let's be brothers and calm down and whatever. I said, this nigga ain't gonna do that. I used to even call him Negro.
Damn.
I said, this nigga ain't gonna talk to me that way. You crazy? He had a problem.
What do you think of Farrakhan having the nerve? I think it's because of the things that Eric Muhammad has been saying, and I think he's been listening to him, so he switched things up. You know how he used to have ministers under him. Eric Muhammad made it clear that ministers don't serve under ministers. And then all of a sudden, Farrakhan became minister or remained Minister Farrakhan, and he dropped all other ministers down to junior ministers.
Right. That's slick.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is, you are our student. I'm like, damn, you can't stay a student forever. How long are you supposed to be a student?
I'm like, that's some slick stuff. The nerve of this guy. So you want to act like he's the only minister of Elijah.
I also think that they listen to some of my videos too sometimes, because I was talking about how off base Farrakhan is. He don't even wear his bow tie no more, because every time you see him, he always got a straight tie. Yep. Like, this man is so off the base, he don't even wear a bow tie no more. That's
saying a lot. I noticed that when he stopped doing that around 10 or more years ago, right?
Yeah, but now all of a sudden, I start seeing him, he start wearing his bow tie again.
But the main thing is what he's talking about, who he works with. If he's not talking Elijah's program to the letter, then he's talking about something else. It's just like when on TRS, when you hear Tyrone talking about we need to rip the Constitution up and start all over. Yeah, that means you saying I don't like the United States. Let's form a new country. Yeah, because the Constitution is the United States. Yeah, not just the name of the country. It's the Constitution that makes the United States. You rip it up, start all over. You got a new country, which is another way of having a coup under the people. You know,
right. With Farrakhan, you know, this man, you know, he cheated on his wife. He done a whole lot of different things. Matter of fact, you know, it's been said that because we raised in the 80s, we raised $2.2 million for him in 2 months. And they said it's been accusations that he took some of that money and paid the bills of that singer Melba Moore.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, this, you know, there have been many accusations against him. And I've told some of his believers, you know, his followers, I said it's very simple. If he's got any kind of real honor and respect and want to show that he's legitimate or whatever it is, charges, let the people who's making these accusations bring their proof and go before the what they call it. Anyway, it's a council where they judge you, you know, they judge your works, and they can actually, since he's not supposed to be, since he is not the leader of the Nation of Islam, that means he can be removed from his post.
Yeah, you're right.
He can be removed from his post.
He's an arrogant guy.
Yeah.
See,
he's so arrogant that he's not even pushing his ministers, because he should be pushing Wesley and Nuri and whatever. But it's always about him. All the Savior's Day is always about him. It's all, you know, everything is always about him. You know, it's all, he's taking pictures with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg and call all the women bitches and hoes and Ice Cube.
Don't forget the Kardashians.
Yeah, and the Kardashians.
What's he doing with them? See, it's all that Freemason stuff. That's what that's all about. See, what the Nation of Islam should have dark-skinned leadership.
Yeah.
To show, okay, this is about black people. When you keep having these half whites or half white looking, pretty bright looking guys, to me, it shows, okay, we're trying to replicate so-called Farad Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I could say, well, I didn't agree with Elijah Muhammad. And yeah, he was ordered by the white man to kill Malcolm X, because you can just read his comments afterwards. I mean, he didn't sound like he gave a damn. He said, he essentially said Malcolm X running his mouth, he brought the death upon himself, you know. Right. That's, I mean, that doesn't sound like a man who cared, you know. But again, you can't kill a man for talking junk, because you're no better than a street thug. Because that's essentially what Malcolm X supposedly got killed for, talking junk. So, but at least Elijah Muhammad had organization, business. Farrakhan tries to do that, but at least Elijah Muhammad was more true.
Also, it's a brother, Omar Shabazz. He's got a real good series about that. He was saying in his series that basically the Nation of Islam was being fronted by a billionaire Caucasian guy. And all those businesses that the Nation of Islam was doing, whatever, a lot of stuff was nothing but some front stuff. It really wasn't real.
That was J.L. Hunt.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know who that guy is, right?
What is some Ku Klux Klan guy? Yeah,
he was in the oil business.
Yeah.
He had a trucking company. You might see it on the roads.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's that he's that Hunt guy, the one with the trucking company.
That's J.L. Hunt. Yeah. Check it out though. J.L. Hunt. They connected him to the JFK assassination as possibly being one of the financier of the assassinations. And his son is Lamar Hunt of the AFC and the NFL. He started the AFL. And that merged with the NFL. That's the AFC conference.
Right.
And I think, I forgot his team. I think his team was the Kansas City Chiefs. I think he owned that team. So these are the connections, man.
I'll tell you, we need to, like I said, a lot of these guys, we need to leave them alone. We need to change our mindset and come up out of this garbage, especially all this bickering and crazy stuff over dark skin. Are you dark skin? Like, who gives a damn about all that stuff? We all are victims in this. Look at each other as one victim to another. I don't care if you're light skinned or whatever. When I was locked up in the crazy house, there was no light skin, there was no white boy, there was no white girl. All of us looked at ourselves as the same. We was all in the same damn situation. Them people treated us all the same. If it wasn't for my activity, those people was treated like they was animals. Because they are not in a lot of them they do have some type of some of them have some type of mental problem. And they were being exploited, treating all kinds of crazy ways. But when I showed up, all that was gonna come to an end because there was nothing wrong with me. And I could take advantage of the policies, and later on I took advantage of the law, and all them days was over with, I bet they was happy as hell to get rid of me. I'm very sure they was.
Yeah, man.
In fact, I really didn't want to leave. I was having fun messing with them. but it's not fun. It's not fun when you don't have nothing to fight with. Because them first few years, they was whooping the hell out of me. It's almost undescribable. And then you have people who make mockery of my situation because I said something they don't like. That's why you was in the Dove house, and that's why you was crazy or whatever. Why would you wish that on somebody? Now, I'm still supposed to be a black man. And you're supposed to love black people. And because you don't like what I say, you're going to wish and you happy that these crackers did this crap to me. I've done nothing to deserve to be locked up like that for 10 years. Nothing. But because you don't like me, then you're going to turn around and talk about, no, you want somebody to kiss your ass. That's what you want. You want somebody to kiss your backside and join your plantation. I'm not interested in joining your plantation and what you tripping off of. I'm not interested in that. I'm going to tell the truth as I see it to the best of my ability. And clearly, if you cannot refute what I'm saying, you are not interested in the truth. You're interested in continuing this lie, whether it's this Uncle Tom mentality or this pro-black, because they both suck. It's one extreme to the other. There is no balance in it. You have to have balance in your mindset. But you know, as Negroes, either it's far to the left or it's far to the right. We can't see balance in things.
That's true.
We have to have balance in this struggle. You're dealing with a person, you're dealing with a people, you're dealing with an enemy that's very, very intelligent and smart. He will only go to outright violence if he have to. That's why Dr. King had to be assassinated, because there was no other way. They used all their little tricks or whatever. They said, man, we don't have no choice. We got to kill this guy.
I think because his influence got too big. See, that's what I noticed when your influence gets big and you try to redirect the people from what the people who made you told you to direct them towards, then they got to get rid of you.
Yeah. Yeah, so they got to get rid of him because he's going off the agenda. You know what we set up here. You ain't supposed to be going that
that's
way.
what Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad.
Yeah.
See, they got tired of all this talking because I'm sure after a while they're like, man, why are we just talking? How come we're not getting to it? Yeah. And they started to get to it. They wanted to get to it. Then all of a sudden, that's when they got shut down.
Right.
But Farrakhan hasn't been getting to nothing.
No.
And he's still around. See, this is what it's all about. And that's why he didn't change the influence. What is he doing now? He's accepting the homosexuals too. Mm. So come on. I mean, this is just insane, man. And this is why, like when you mentioned with the pro-blacks, a lot of the pro-blacks I'm not crazy about either, because a lot of them take it to the extreme, like you said. They either got to wear dreadlocks, which I guess it could be cool, but I mean, it's natural, but that doesn't mean that that's their hairdo, the natural hairdo for you.
Right.
And then you have others, they either curse too much, call people crackers, act mean. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you don't have to act mean to show that, okay, you disapprove to white people. You know, that's not necessary. Like, and a lot of the females, a lot of them look like former drug addicts. I mean, let's tell this thing. You know, they keep talking about the cracker this, the cracker that, the white man, this bitch, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, come on. You don't have to go that far. And you see with Sonnet, I'm going there again. Mm-hmm. All his people, they keep acting like they discover new people by accident. Like this new guy, the latest man, is this George Macon guy, you know, out of Philly. They keep acting, and he comes out. I guess we're supposed to trust him because his name is George Macon and not Sir Sansu Ahmed or something like that, you know, something fancy. So we're supposed to trust this guy. I mean, this is what they do. These guys are lying in wait every time one goes down. The next one comes up to see if they can influence the people. If they can't influence the people, they get cut. Like Royale.
What happened to Polite?
Well, he's West Coasting it. I guess he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Probably escaping debtors too, I guess.
I'm very sure he is. He ripped folks off and then he split.
Yeah. And his little cult pimp thing. He's a Freemason too. He even said that. Mm-hmm. That's all it's about. That's why they keep talking about Egypt all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't hear them talking about nothing else in Africa or no other kind of black people.
Right.
And that's what I like to talk about. talk about all black people. I don't deal with the African stuff. And that's part of the reason I don't deal with it, because you get cornered into Africa where there are black people right outside of Africa. I mean, come on. Do you think the only black people are in Africa and in the United States? Because the white man says so? Come on. So, well, I'm glad I had this discussion. Hopefully we have a clearer understanding. I don't mind criticism, believe me. And the only people I block on my channel are people who come in just to talk junk, period. Like if they say, Alquan, why did you say this? Why don't you explain yourself? That's fine. But if they say, this guy's a bitch nigga, that's all they say. I mean, you're here just to cause problems.
Why is all that necessary? You bitch nigga, all this name calling. Just say what you need to say and roll out. Nobody has time for all this, childish stuff. And like I said earlier, I'm over 50 years old. I can't even handle it. I get grumpy and this stuff. When I was in my 20s, I'd be having a whole lot of fun with stuff like that. But I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I don't know how old you are, but Sonetta was 54. He still seems to enjoy it quite a bit.
me and Sonetta, we're the same age.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he enjoys the drama especially when it's bringing in AdSense money and donations.
Yes, that's what he's about. But he said a long time ago, he said, I'm the Don King of conscience, or some crap he was talking about.
Yep.
For as I'm concerned, this issue is not entertainment. I'm serious as a heart attack. I don't have time for entertainment. When I see brothers and sisters go to the morgue, it's not entertainment for me. This whole thing is serious. It's very, very serious.
And that's what he doesn't talk about serious issues. That's what I also pointed out. They just keep with Freemasonry, Egypt, and Earth is flat or not, nonsensical BS that's designed to go nowhere. But you don't talk about what's going on. I don't see them go to the ghetto talking about black people not being able to pay their bills and all that, getting jobs and all that kind of. I don't see all that. But yet he'll ask for money to pay for a $668 microphone, and then lie and say, I actually paid for most of it myself. When you got more money than the damn mic costs. But he keeps lying about these things. Got the S-Class. And you see what he does in his videos. They get what they get. They show off, just like Tommy Sotomayor. They get what they get, then they show off. They keep riding in luxury cars, showing it off, getting their clothes, showing it off, knowing damn well that the ghetto audience that they're catering to, especially the males, they're watching, they're saying, damn, I got to get my YouTube thing together so I can go ride around in luxury vehicles and do nothing all day. This is what they're thinking about. And this is why I say you got to get the education. You got to get off the drugs. That's the start. Unity will come along later on. But when you have a bunch of uneducated idiots out there in the corner with guns and on drugs, you have what you have now, which is a bunch of chaos and disorder. A guy like Sonetta, he has the S-Class. I think I looked it up when he first got that. Even if he bought that used, which I believe he did, I think it was $76,000. Then he made it, because a car like that normally retails for about $120,000. And he said that he paid for it in full in a video about a couple of months ago. So it goes to show what Negroes will waste their money on. And on top of that, he said he likes the new Jaguar. He's thinking about trading that in and getting the new Jaguar. And the Jaguars, last I checked, the one of the highest models, they go for around $90,000. All and this, and I'm still living in the hood.
Right, you're living in the hood. And you don't produce, you don't manufacture a damn thing. It's the whole thing is sickening. Why? I don't get it. I just don't get it. But then Elijah Muhammad said, basically, he answered the question. He answered the question by saying, why do the Negro love the devil? The answer is because the devil gives them nothing. And they like Farrakhan, they like Sonetta, they like all these guys because they don't give them nothing. They don't get nothing. All these, not only there was a whole bunch of these YouTube folks, because they made a YouTube video, whatever. That ain't giving the people nothing. You know, they watch the same news as you do. Give me my Patreon account. What are you doing? They're not doing. But you know what they say. What's that old saying? You find somebody, play them on the head or whatever. And, you know, I don't get it. I don't like being played like that. But I guess these people, they make you feel good. It's like a drug. They make you feel good and give you the illusion like you are part of something, like you're doing
That's
something.
it. That's what it is. People want to be involved with something that's popular.
Yeah.
So they'll give up $1 or $2 or $100 and say, I'm a part of it now. This is my spokesperson. He's doing the job for me.
Right.
Even though there's no job being done.
No.
See, now, instead of buying a $76,000 automobile, see, that's what a nigger does.
Yes.
You know, he could have bought, if he wanted a luxury car, could have bought an E-Class for around $50,000, brand new. But that's not how niggas think. They want the best that they can show off. I mean, I had a buddy like that, man. He used to cry broke when he didn't have any money. Then once he got some money, first thing he would do was go out and buy the dumbest stuff you could think of. He'd go out and buy a suit, a hat, and a cane, even though he didn't need the cane. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Then instead of just eating what he normally ate, he'd go out and spend the money on fine restaurants. And then he's broke again. Then he's disappointed again. Oh, I need money. I'm like, boy.
Well, I just know that, you know, people like myself and you, I don't know how we're going to do it, but our mentality, our mindset has to be a kind of way that we have to unite ourselves so that we can be an alternative to these suckers out here, because you and I both know those people are a road to nowhere. We know that for a fact. I don't care if we bought a bubblegum machine, we'll be doing more for the people than what these suckers are doing.
Now, the only thing with you, I don't know for sure, but I'm talking to you now so you can tell me.
Yeah.
Because I know you heard Mandela Khan, right?
I just don't get him. That's a guy, I just don't, I mean.
He's a smooth talker, though. You gotta admit that. He's a smooth talker.
He's not a smooth talker to me. I'm like, what is it?
But see, I asked him questions. See, that's why I ask questions. People get mad when you ask the wrong questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I got to his bottom line was he's down for all, even though he talks about the red, black, and green. But his red, black, and green is everybody, including the white man, including the homosexuals. So I'm like, see, that's not what I'm about. Let the white man worry about his people like he has been. Let the gays do whatever the hell they're doing. But you got to help the people who need the help most. That's your people, the black people. That's the way I feel. Damn everybody else. It doesn't mean I hate everybody else. It just means that they're doing what they're doing. Nobody comes to the black man's rescue. Latinos, black and brown, I don't believe in that. Because if Latinos could be with the white people and be white, they would do that. They wouldn't be down with us. They're never down with us. They never come to our rescue. We go to their rescue, and that's the puppets of the white man, the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons. They're always mentioning black and brown.
Well, I'll tell you this. In struggle, there's nothing wrong with finding, allies. Because even in the creation of this nation, they didn't do it by themselves. Because this nation, as you know, they did not have a navy. France came to their rescue and helped them deal with the British on the sea. So, Benjamin Franklin, he went and had a confab with the French and was able to get them to be an ally. And what's making it so bad is that they messed around and went to war with France too. After France helped them become an independent nation, from Britain, then they turned around and had to go to war with France over the crap. But that's European stuff. They don't get along either. But in order to especially in the position that we're in, and that's what I like about Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro had allies. He was a little tiny little island, but Fidel Castro was friends with Russia, and he also had friends, over there in South America. The army, But if the Russians got in some problems, he would send his little army to help the Russians, send his little army. So he had the backup of two people, you know, two other superpowers. That's why the United States really couldn't mess with him the way because I mean, they could take out an island. What's the big deal?
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, you're gonna have to deal with Russia, and that's why they don't want to mess with North Korea, because see, North Korea is still connected and friends with China. So you just can't just mess with North Korea any kind of way.
And I don't think they want South Korea destroyed, because look at all the products coming out of South Korea these days. Samsung.
Yeah, right. So, you know, that's the way we have to be. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. They keep telling me, you trying to be friends. I'm trying to find allies and trying to find ways to get me what the hell I want. So, you know, you can't just sit here in America and think rallying Negroes is not going to happen.
That's true.
They might join you, but they might join you if you got allies or have some backup from China or from somebody in India or some other power. You can't do it on your own here. You can't do it on your own.
That's true.
In fact, that's what Malcolm was doing. Malcolm was getting offers from people in Africa and other places. They said, we will send you the arms. We will even send you some troops. That's what you need. And that's the only thing these crackers in this country are going to respect, when they see that you mean business. But see, right now we're in a position, and you know, you keep talking about agents and spies and stuff like that. I don't think that this country even give a damn about agents and spies. They don't care about what
no, they do, because they're very useful. They're very useful.
I don't even think they tapping our telephone, because niggas ain't doing nothing here. This not.
They're very useful to influence others to think like one of them think.
You can take Farrakhan out. You can take Sharpton, Sinetta, and all. These cats will still be in the same condition. They ain't gonna change them because their mentality. They don't have a revolutionary type mentality.
Yeah, they have a coon mentality. That's what they have.
Huh? Yeah.
They have a coon mentality.
You have to have a different mindset. They don't even have the mindset that you need. You're still in the mindset of a slave. You know, you have to. Not only do you have to think of yourself as a revolutionary, but you have to think about yourself as what happens after the revolution. Otherwise, you'll mess around and be like the brothers and sisters in Liberia. They were able to go over there and concentrate and create that state of Liberia, but they having severe problems over there because they still carry the same mentality as their oppressor. They view life and they do things the same way. Matter of fact, even their flag, they even base their flag, everything on what they look. But I mean, I don't expect that much from them, because what do you expect from a slave? They came from slavery. This is the only thing that they knew. So they went over there to Africa, created Liberia based on the only thing that they knew.
Well,
so
the U.S. kind of forced that on them. They didn't really go over there on their own, though.
Yeah, well, also, yeah, but they went over there and they did make it, and now they do have a country called Liberia, which is our real ancestors. I don't have to go back 5,000 years ago.
Not all of them. You're right, but not all of them, though. Only the ones that went back.
These are our relatives, for real. You don't have to go back 5,000 years ago, whatever. And they are in Africa, so you want to talk about African.
And nobody's going over there to join them either. None of these Pan-Africanists are going over there to join them.
Yeah, right. And I asked them, how come you're not going over? You got and these nation builders. You have a nation already built. It's Liberia. Go over there and help them.
No, they don't have time for that. They don't have time to grab an AK and go through the jungle and deal with the creatures. They don't have time for all that. Well, you said revolution. I agree. We need a revolution, but I think we need a revolution of the mind, and we need to get educated.
You have to have that first. You have to have a revolution of the mind. You have to have a different mindset. You have to have a different way of looking at things. The way that we're currently looking at things right now, it's not working. It's not gonna do it. You have to have a different whole mindset. Not only do you have to have the mindset of a revolutionary, you have to think about the future. And we don't have that type of, a slave can't think about the future and don't have to think about it, because massa is doing that for you. But once you become free, there is no massa to do your thinking for you. You have to begin to have vision to look down the road when you won't even exist. The forefathers of this nation, of course, they couldn't tell you about the telephone and cars and rocket ships, but they had a vision where they could imagine what their nation going to be down the road. And that's the way we have to be. We have to think about life, our nation, years before we even, we won't even exist. In the family, you should be thinking this is how they're going to be way before, way after I'm gone. But we don't think that way. And you don't expect a slave to think that way. But a free person should be able to think that way. How are we going to look and what you want for your people on down the road?
Yeah, black people don't even want to get educated. That's what pisses me off, because I look on these Ivy League campuses. All I'm seeing are, aside from white people, of course, I see Asians, East Indians, Africans. I see Asians, Chinese-style Asians. They take tour buses to visit these campuses, man, because they're getting in these Ivy League schools, these high-level private schools. Black people, it's like, I hate to say it, but a lot of black males, man, their education is the streets, and their certificate, graduate degree is prison. I mean, it's sad to say, but they seem to be proud of it a lot of times too.
Well, see, that's where, I mean, that's not for everybody, going to school and whatever, getting educated. It's not good for everyone.
Yeah, but as a group, though, we should do that.
Like I was telling people, you put yourself in a position where you get allies. Let's say, for instance, just for an example, and we're going to say this and we're going to cut this off here. What if we had China as a friend? Okay, we got China as a friend, and China got this big block of land, big as the state of Delaware or Rhode Island. And they would say, you guys can come here. We will help you get yourself together for the next 25, 30 years, whatever, and whatever. Now, of course, we're not doing this for nothing. You are going to help, China or whatever, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The land is undeveloped. So we need people to go over there. You need to be able to chop down the trees, learn, build your own infrastructure, put up your own electricity, all that kind of good stuff that we need. See, that's where people like that come in, because if you want to build your own nation or whatever, and somebody give you all this undeveloped land, you got to be able to know how to go in there, set up your own plumbing system, get your water going, electric. Somebody got to be able to go in there and set up all the infrastructure, build the roads. See, that's what people, and then we can even, and if you're doing something like that, Brother Alquan, you can even negotiate with the United States government for the brothers and sisters that's in prisons, that's rotting in prison. Say, look, we building our own place in China there. Give us our people, and we'll deal with them. Give them the choice. Either they want to stay in prison or come build a nation.
Oh, no, they can stay in prison.
Who do you think was one of the first people that came to America to help these Europeans? They came from prisons. They were the prostitutes and the riffraff of Britain that came here. A lot of them died. They couldn't handle the cold. They starved to death or whatever. When you take them out of an environment and put them in a new environment, they believe they are part of something big. It's a whole different.
But you know why they sent the prisoners and riffraff? Because when you explore some new unexplored lands, it's better to have some cold-blooded killers going there and taming the people instead of some nice guys, Well,
I mean, that's cool, but what I'm saying is that when people feel they are part of something, it just like the transformation you've seen in Malcolm, because he saw that he wanted to be part. He wanted to be part of this great thing that was going on here. Here you got a chance, an opportunity. First of all, you're not going to be in prison. You can start your life all over again, come into this whole new environment. See what I'm saying? A lot of people, their whole attitudes change. A lot of people become hopeless. People are not born, I think I want to go to prison when they're 6 years old. Things happen to people in their lives. And the same thing that happened in their life that caused them to be in prison or whatever, that same type of initiative or whatever can take them and put them in a positive place. The same thing. But they can't do it if it's not offered. That opportunity is not there. So there's a lot of things that can be done. And you can develop ourselves in America And those of us who don't want to go outside of this land, we can help out. We can help those who wish to go outside this country while they develop and whatever. We send and help them do that and establish your own land. So when you get sick of being here or you want to move your children, they have a place to go. Because as long as they are here living with racists, you're going to have problems. You need we need to get our people away out of this racist system. Either you take this country over or you get the hell out. Because as long as you stay here, you're going to continue to have these problems. And that's a fact. It's a proven fact because you've been experiencing it going on 500 years.
But I mean, there are other ways to maneuver within a society. Obviously, we're the prime ones with the prime target on our backs. But you can maneuver through the society. It starts with education. I always say, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, education doesn't have to be formal in a college, but it would help because obviously if Indians and Asians, everybody else can do it, there should be no excuse why we shouldn't do it.
But we can't compare ourselves to Indians and Asians and all.
So you're saying we're not smart enough to go through an Ivy League college?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they've never had laws and policies and unspoken and unwritten laws and policies against them. We have had laws and policies designed just against us and unspoken, unwritten laws and policies against us. You know, there was something called the Sunshine Law, and it even existed when I was a child. You could not go into the white community after 6 o'clock in the evening. You could be arrested. That was not no law. It was something that was understood. And we used to go, and I know my mother and all of us, oh, it's almost 6 o'clock. We better get the hell out of here. And one day I saw what would happen if you stayed in that white community after 6. Them niggas was getting pulled over, all kinds of cops. This dude went over trying to get a beer. And next thing you know, he was going to jail. So they don't have against them what we have against us. There's policy and laws and an attitude against us. They don't have that. So you can't compare. So you can't compare what they can do with what we can do.
But when it comes to education, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, you can do that. But what I'm saying is that don't expect the same outcome because you're not going to get they make things easy for them while they put obstacles in your path. Always.
And the Asians, they gangster up certain industries, engineering, electronic engineering, computers and all that kind of stuff, and they keep putting their people in and crossing other people out. But we just can't. That's
the reason why you need to build your own, get the hell away from them, because.
But you need an education to build your own.
See, it's according to how you want to live. See, if you want to be liberated and free, start from scratch, and you start from a agricultural type lifestyle. You go there and you learn how to feed yourself, clothe yourself, put shelter on yourself. You start in an agricultural type of environment. And then you grow from and develop from there. That's how you should be able to do that. You know, you want to live like the way that we're living. I don't care about that. When I was growing up, Brother Alquan, and this was the 60s, when I was a little boy, we did not have plumbing in the house. We lived in a community. There was a community well in the middle, and there was like 7 or 8 houses surrounding the well, and everybody went to this one well, and you got your water, and that's the water that you bathe in, and you cook your food and all that kind of good stuff.
Damn.
We had kerosene lamps. That's what we used. We didn't have electricity. We were still burning kerosene lamps, and we was using coal and wood for heat, and cooking in the ovens. And we raised our own chickens, had a few pigs and cows. Basically we was independent. See, it's according to what you want in life. I don't give a damn about the big houses and living the way that we're living. I just want to be free. Just give me my little, even if it has to be a grass hut, give me my grass hut, give me my chickens, give me a peach tree, give me a stream with water in it, you know, clean flowing water in it, and some fish, I'm cool. I don't need to live that way.
Okay.
I don't have to.
I mean, you're gonna have a hard time convincing even 15 black people to live like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's the mindset. You have the mindset of your oppressor, and the thing about it is on down the line, and they will see the hard way. You living on fossil fuel. Fossil fuel is non-renewable. Once that coal, once that oil, once all that stuff is gone, it's over. You don't get no more. It takes millions and millions of years to produce that stuff.
And that's when the world will change.
And see, if you live in the way that I'm telling you right now, you don't have to worry about it.
But check this out, though.
Because
the third world is already living like that. So they're the ones who's going to be set for the future.
But I'll be set for the future because that's basically how we want to live. We don't want to be dependent upon. And then these fossil fuels and all this stuff, the way that we're living now, is poisoning your water. It's poisoning your air. It's killing the hell out of you. So these material things that you're fighting and dying for, whatever, you're only going to have a few years to enjoy it because next thing you know, you're going to be in the graveyard. We need to stop. We need to start thinking on the lines of life instead of death. The people that we've been living with, they are what is described in the Bible as far as the religious focus is concerned. They talk about the death riding the white horse. They are examples of death. And as far as dark-skinned people is concerned, that's all they have been to us going on 500 years. Nothing but symbols of death. Why you want to continue? Why you want to be like them? Why you want to think like them? You think that there's something wrong, like this brother, Prophet of Doom, he has a channel. We actually think that there's something wrong with living in a grass hut. Ain't nothing wrong with living in a grass hut. But we're used to all this technology and all this crap and the internet and all this kind of good stuff. All this stuff is unnatural. It's unnatural. It's against the earth, and sooner or later, and really not sooner or later, it's catching up with us now. We filled with all kinds of diseases and stuff that you can't even pronounce no more. Life never been like this before. You being poisoned.
I don't know, I guess that's when we differ.
See, look at this. See, look at this. Your lifestyle has to change. The whole way that you're doing things has to change. You want to live the way these Europeans have done things. That's death style. You have to live in accord with nature. Nature, this planet is not going to continue to allow this to exist. All this that you see right now, you think it's going to be forever. It's not. Matter of fact, it hasn't really. This only began to exist when they discovered oil. Then all this started coming because all this is oil based. But when the oil starts running out, then what's next? Then what you're gonna do?
Well, we're gonna be the last ones to see the oil.
And the oil is running out. Matter of fact, the oil is running out. In fact, fresh water is having a problem. They don't talk about it, but fresh water, they're having a problem finding fresh water because you can't drink seawater. Fresh water got a problem. The oil is running out. You got some problem. They're not talking about it, but that's what's happening. This lifestyle that you live in is not going to continue to exist. And you think that your children are going to live this way. They're not going to be able to live this way because it's running out. So you're going to have to think differently. You can't continue to follow this guy. He's walking death. He's contrary to nature.
Well, I don't think following, but you gotta keep in mind other people are competition. So you do have to, I don't believe in packing up and running away because that's the cowardly thing to do. I mean, when I had fights in neighborhoods, I'm like, I'm not running. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I used to run in the beginning until I learned how to fight well. But after that, I was like, man, I ain't running from nowhere. I bring it to you. So this is what you got to do. The Asian, that's why I look at the East Indian because they're black. The Asian, the Chinese, and all those kind of people. Vietnamese, I look at them, they're doing what they have to do. They're not running, they're coming to the white man's home and doing what they have to do in his home.
I mean,
and doing better than him.
Yeah, but you keep saying that, but the same thing is going to happen to them too. The same thing is going to happen to them. This lifestyle, this mentality is not going to be around very long. It's going to change.
But while it's here, you got to compete. You just can't give up.
No, what you're doing is that you're setting up 2 points. You're going to continue to have your base, your foundation here, but you have to have another place to go, and you really want to get your children out of this. You want to stay in the mess, that's cool for you because it's all that you know. You want to take your children out of this mess and create a whole different mindset for them so they be able to survive in the future. Because this lifestyle, this mentality is not going to make it. Even Caucasian people know it. The smart ones, they even have YouTube videos on. They know this lifestyle, this is the way that we live right now. It's not gonna last too much longer. It's getting ready to come to the point where it's gonna just burst. It's over with. So you have to prepare yourself for that. Start thinking differently. Now, I also was telling this brother too, because he was talking about the grass hut. I said, you can live naturally, but you don't have to really go. I mean, come on now. We don't have to really actually live in grass huts. I mean, we have a brain here. You know, our brain is so sophisticated. Our brain is so incredible. It does not just want you. It's not going to just allow you to stay on this planet. This brain is so powerful. It can actually take us out into the heavens. But see, there is technology that is actually earth friendly, but the people that's in power, that's controlling things, is not allowing that technology to come to be used because they tripping off these fossil fuels and things. Because actually, you know, you can run vehicles off plain water. They have that technology. You can actually, those flying saucers from the Jetson cartoon, they actually have those. They run on magnets. It's magnet power. I remember seeing that back when I was a child in those popular science magazines. All that stuff. When people talk about they see UFOs or whatever, they might be seeing those prototypes flying around. That's what they probably seen. Because you know this country keep a lot of secrets. But we have to, but one thing for sure, the way that we live now and the way things, it's got to change. You're not gonna, this is not going to go into the future.
That's the bigger picture, but I mean,
yeah.
In the shorter picture, we can't cower out and run away while everybody else is benefiting from things that our people set off in the begin with.
Right. I understand.
Nothing out of it.
Yeah, I understand.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, I understand. See, but it's a combination of things. All the things that I'm saying, the things that you're saying, it's a combination of things. All that can be going on at one time. Because there's nothing wrong with what you're talking about, period. Because like you said, we're looking at the future, but we're living in the present. So there's nothing wrong with what you're talking about at all. We need to recruit, especially brothers, like you said. We need to get brothers and the sisters, many of our people as possible, to get their education.
And that's why we can't be following behind crack addicts, cocaine fiends. I don't know about you. I just don't want no drug addict leading me into battle. And I don't want any drug crack fiend doing any open heart surgery on me, you know?
Well,
some people may not mind
it. Let Minister A.k.a. get, you know, let him work on you.
Yeah, that guy's eyes stay red.
Yeah, and he's a little skinny guy. I'm like, damn, what do he weigh, 20 pounds?
Nah, you've been going to the gym lately. You've been putting on a little something now.
Has he? Last time I seen him, he's a little skinny guy. I'm like, damn, look like he can just blow on him all over. I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, that guy, you look like he is never sober at any point in time.
And you know, and Sarnetta was talking about Sarasu said he was calling him a homosexual, talking about he was a drunk in his house. And I wrote Sarnetta a letter, and I also made a video asking him about, you know, why he talking about Seti, because you making yourself look bad. if this man is a homosexual and he doing all this drinking in your house, okay, first of all, why you didn't say nothing about it when he was making you money? He was doing all this drinking and doing crack or whatever in your house. Then you call him a homosexual. If you know this man is a homosexual, why are you by yourself alone in your house with this man?
Now, Seti doesn't strike me as a homosexual at all.
He don't set me. I don't. But
young Pharaoh kind of does, but not Seti.
I think he just have that feminine type voice line. You know, I don't know. I try not to judge. I always try to. People talk about me, but I do try to be positive about it. I don't try to find negative things about people. I do try to. You know, like I had a crush on Oprah Winfrey. Because Oprah, as far as I was concerned, she was just a sister. She was smart. She was intelligent. She could talk. And I liked that. I never paid no attention. She's supposed to be so fat. I never paid no attention about her weight. I didn't care enough.
Well, she dropped that weight, though. Oprah was looking damn good. I said, I'll take some of that.
You know, I like Oprah big. I didn't like when she's lost all that weight. I'm like, what's she doing?
Now, I'm jumping out of a window for big Oprah. I ain't taking out of that.
But I didn't pay no attention. I just like Oprah for Oprah. I don't trip off people's what they, you know. I don't try to find faults in people. I didn't pay attention that Oprah was supposed to be fat until she started bringing the subject up. I need to lose this weight and blah blah blah. I didn't pay no attention to that. And that's the way that I look at people. I look at people for who they are. I'm not looking to try to find fault in you. I'm always looking for the positive side. I'm not trying, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings and cause drama and all like this. But, you know, all of us, Farrakhan, and Umar Johnson, a lot of these people, some of their followers and believers, they think that these people are beyond critique.
You're right about that.
And see, that's where you're going to have a problem, because all people, and just like I started off my conversation today, you know, I messed around. I had the same type of attitude. This guy was trying to show me something, and I had this attitude like, whatever, I got more experience. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then I decided to go ahead and try what this guy was telling me, and it worked, and I'm still working. It was cool, his suggestion, what he was talking about. But it made me a better person because I was able to take this man's advice. If what somebody is according to where it's coming from, you know, you have to look at, some people are just mean and they trying to find fault in you. But if it's coming from a good place, why don't you think about what that person is saying to you? Look at it, and then, you know, let's see what's going on. And you might find out that the guy is right, and it makes you a better person.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. See, me, when I do my evaluation on people, I guess if you want to look at it as looking at the negative or exposing the negative, I guess you could look at it in that way. But what I do, I point out things that just don't make sense. You know, when I sense that somebody is full of it, and I evaluated him for a while. So that's why I didn't do one on Seti yet.
Yeah.
Because I think he may have an angle.
Mm-hmm.
But even if his angle is what I think it is, the overall picture is not anywhere as bad as these other guys, which is why I didn't do one on Seti, and probably won't. If I do one on him, it might be a positive one. So, you know, but when you're a clear-cut coon agent trying to destroy black people,
yeah,
I'm definitely putting you out there.
And you have the right to say, you know, you have the right to say, people put themselves out in the public arena. Hey, I mean, you have the right to critique. And I've told people that it makes no difference who it is. Nobody's beyond critique. And especially if people come to you, I've never heard you approach somebody, you know, in a disrespectful type manner or whatever. Like you was trying to ask that sister a question, whatever, Zaza, whatever her name is. You know, I didn't see you try. You just try to ask a question, and he's stalking me, and he did. I mean, what? He's just asking a question.
Yeah, she said that so she can get out of answering the question.
That's all that was about. Everywhere I go, there he is. Answer the damn question. It's simple as that.
The funny part is, I called her when she was down with Professor Griff.
Uh-huh.
They still remember my voice from years ago. I mean, they got good memories. I give it to them. But I asked her the same questions, and Griff used to, he used to try to speak for her.
Mm-hmm.
Then after they broke up, Professor Griff, the respectable guy, as people used to call him, he called her bitches, criminals, mulattoes, devils, lesbians, everything you could think of. But before that, he was defending her.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if she's half white and all that kind of stuff? I mean, see, these people are hypocrites. Professor Griff, too, man. I don't like that guy, man.
Yeah, Pharaoh did that too, because I forgot who the sister was, but he was talking about, the black woman is God of it, and he got into it with one of them sisters, and she's
Dr. Maya.
Yeah, Maya. Yeah, she's a this and that. I'm like, she's still a black woman. You said a black.
Nah, he had justification for that. He had justification for that because she was definitely hating on him hard. You don't. But
if the black woman is God, she's still a black woman no matter what. So if a black woman is God, then she's still gonna be God no matter what. Just like when they murdered Malcolm, the Nation of Islam teaches that the black man is God. Every time that you see a black man, you see God. So no matter if you like Malcolm or not, he's still a black man. And you said that every time you see a black man, you see God. He's still a black man, but they found that he was worthy of death.
Yes, they kill God, but yet the man they call master is the one they call their God. Yeah,
this light skinned whatever the hell he's supposed to be.
See, the thing is about Farad Muhammad is you got people. I'm gonna call him out there because he says call his name out. He knows I've been hitting him up every now and then over the years. Eric Muhammad. He says that Farad Muhammad, his father is jet black, not just black, but jet black. Mother is white. But yeah, he's supposed to come from Arabia. Yeah. So I mean, which is it? I mean, and they tell you the Nation of Islam, they say don't believe the FBI. I'm like, I gotta go by the FBI because they're the only ones with very history and pictures on the man. If you go by the Nation of Islam only, you only get one view of the guy in a very
they got the what's the name? The Detroit Press. I think the Detroit Press, if you go back again, that make a reference to Omar Shabazz in his documentary. The Detroit Press back in the 1930s show who this man was because he got in trouble. One of his followers killed another follower. Yep. And it was plastered all over the Detroit Press, the Detroit newspapers, and they showed the picture of this guy that was the leader of the Nation of Islam back then. This Wallace Farr. So it was him. Wallace Farr, and the pictures that the FBI have, that's the same guy. It's him.
According to the Nation of Islam, you're not seeing what you're seeing.
No, it's him. But after a certain period of time, you can get away with a lot of information because a lot of the people have died off. So, because there's a lot of people, if we went back a few years, it was still a lot of people that was alive and actually met and walked with that dude. They could tell you exactly what he was.
That's crazy.
But most people have died off and all that kind of stuff.
I think the big question is where the hell did he go? What did my theory is Elijah Muhammad killed him and took over. That's what I'm thinking. Because you think about it after that, the only real information you got about him came from Elijah Muhammad. And he can make up any story he wanted.
Omar Shabazz said that the guy, Farad Muhammad, went to his wife that lived in California, and he lived there to the day that he died. He died in I think in early 2000. I think he said.
That was that fake one he put up, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Nah, see, I think my man got taken out. But the question is, why would a guy like him start the Nation of Islam to begin with? But obviously, he was in the Moorish Science Temple, which the Nation of Islam likes to deny as well. Right. So you got it's Freemason base. Moorish Science Temple is Freemason base. I mean, that's the bottom line with it all. But my man, I got to get check out. I'm gonna let you close this out. Yeah. So at least we got a clearer understanding.
I've never had no problem with you, brother Alquan. I've never had no problem with you. It's just the I just made a comment on how I look at that particular issue. That's all. Because
some of those comments weren't cool though, because you know.
The majority of the things that you say, you know, matter of fact, I even on one of my channels, I got one of your TRS blog talk shows on my Black Power Information Center. I got one of your I had put it on my channel, one of your blog talk shows. I forgot what the subject was. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. And I put that on one of my channels. And so that's another thing too. See, I don't mind sharing information from other people or whatever. I'm not intimidated by nobody. I don't, you know, if you got a big following and you got it going on, I don't mind helping nobody. I'm not intimidated. I'm not looking for celebrity and fame and all this old crazy stuff. I want to get the job done. If you get the job done, cool, let's do it. I have no problem. These guys aren't getting the job done. I can't work with them.
All right. Well, maybe I'll put this up on my channel. Is that all right with you?
What's that?
So maybe I'll put this up on my channel.
Oh, it's cool. I don't, and see, that's another thing. People can mirror my videos or do whatever. I don't care. I don't trip off of that stuff. I want you to spread it and talk about it. Well, you know, people worried about, yeah, you're gonna get views from my whatever. I don't care about that stuff like that. We're trying to wake up and get our people in the right mentality to change this condition once and for all. Ain't you sick of it? I know I am.
Yeah, that's true.
With that said, thank you, brother Alquan.
All right.
And, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us live. This was spontaneous. But again, I hope that you join me live December the 9th. Hopefully you'll be there too. You can join the conversation too, brother Alquan. Join me December the 9th, 2017 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel here. Help me celebrate what I call Soul Liberation Day. Hosted by my sister Rashida Strober and brother Alquan. Special guest would be Tyrone Thompson, a blog talk Real Solutions Radio. So hopefully we have a good time. Until then, thank you for a wonderful night, and we'll catch you on the flip flop. Like Don Cornelius always says is important. I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we off air, brother.